on FM Talk.
Happy Friday. What is happening here? Oh, it's my computer. So that's what happens when you don't have things in all at the beginning of the show. Sorry about that. We've got a big show for you today. Kevin Farley is in studio with us here in a few minutes, 15 minutes from now. And we've got Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg joining us at 105. I was listening to Outnumbered on the way in today, and they were like, Harris Faulkner, she departed from this a little bit because she said she was from a military family, but she said, maybe, can we get that TV on, Brad? Maybe we don't need the back and forth. Deal, no deal, deal, no deal, ceasefire, no ceasefire.
That's what you said yesterday.
I've been saying that. I've been thinking it a lot longer than I was saying it because I didn't want to be critical just for the sake of obviously being critical, but it's just not helpful for anything. And the one thing that I'm trying to remind myself when I'm listening to how the administration is putting things out there into the public, the chances of the majority of what they're putting out in the public to be targeted essentially for Iran to hear is pretty good. So if they're putting it out there into the world, it's because they want Iran to hear what they're having to say.
Right.
But
you don't think that they want Americans to hear it? They want the rest of the world to hear it?
Yeah, you see how all those Americans are like, gosh, I don't really know how I feel about this.
Oh, I
mean, if there's no hearts and minds to change here politically.
Sure.
So the massive score in the end zone here is whatever victory is. They just have to be able to say that it's a victory and prove it. Iran doesn't even really have to agree to it. That's just what needs to happen. I think we're pretty close to it, and I think that this is why I'm bringing all of this up, because Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg is going to be with us at 105, and when we speak to the general, he's going to say to us what I know when he was saying this maybe a month ago, you're like, gosh, pretty hawkish. He says, go get Karg Island. It's like 90+%. I think he said 98% of their economy goes through there, and you snuff them out that way. You don't go into Tehran. You don't go into the mainland of the country. You don't do that. It would be perilous, and it's not something we're interested in doing. Get Karg Island. Go all the way. They only have defeat. That's all they have left. And he's been saying that over and over again. He said you cannot negotiate with these people. All they end up negotiating for, the win with their negotiations each time, is time. They just want more time to regroup. And then they refer to it as a mosaic strategy. I've learned all of these things, not because I'm smart enough to understand them and articulate them, but we've been around this loop over and over and over again. Yes, it's been 8 weeks, not long in the term of a war. I understand the mission. I still trust the mission. I still think it's the right goal. I don't need to know the ins and outs. I was thinking of the initial time. I think when this meme came out, Ryan, was initially last summer when they got the nuclear materials. They went in and bombed them like Maverick style. And everybody was, air quotes, monitoring the situation. We're tired of monitoring the situation. You guys monitor the situation, completely win, and then come back and tell us when. I don't know if that's a popular opinion. I don't know if you guys like every time you turn in, like I'm looking right now in the lower third on Fox News, is White House awaiting Iran response to U.S. peace proposal.
It's the same headline.
That's 6 to 8 weeks of the same headline. Yeah. So, boy who cried wolf, for me, as a peon sitting here in the Midwest who's only going to understand whatever they choose to spoon feed me, I'm just like, I trust it. I trust you.
Yeah, let me know.
Do your thing.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for gas prices, that's what the whole
nobody would be paying attention.
Would have been.
Yes, absolutely. And this in the midst of this potential, like that's the thing that I cannot do. That's my job here demands that I be aware of what's going on and I bring to you the information that you need to have. I cannot and will not come on the air every day and be like, we are standing by waiting for Iran to respond to the U.S. peace proposal. Any minute now, this thing is going to come in, and we're going to have the information, and if Iran doesn't do it, then, to the moon. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sensationalize it. I don't want it to be sensational. I just want it to be a victory, whatever that takes. And I trust the military folks to do that. So we're going to ask the general who's going to be with us at 1:05 to recap where his position has been and also tell us if he thinks that the Trump administration is moving in that direction. And how quickly do you wrap one of these suckers up for the American people? Because it seems to me the biggest concern by people domestically is get the Strait open and everything. No nuclear Iran, but get that oil moving back and forth through the Strait of Hormuz so that global oil prices will come down and we can afford to put gas in our car once again. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that. There are people who I kind of popped some of those replies up yesterday and let Ryan kind of bat him down or hit him out of the park if he wanted to, but I'm not going to also sit here and be shaming you if you're upset the gas prices are so high. That's not realistic. That's not how we live our lives. That's not how I live my life. I'm paying attention to the ins and outs of every paycheck that comes in and every paycheck that goes out. $5 gas makes a difference in how we live our lives, and I don't want it to be that way. I can hold that thought in my brain and the thought in my brain at the same time that Donald Trump needs to and the amazing military behind him need to finish the job. And if it's going to cost us a little bit, I can hold my breath a little bit longer on it.
I'm looking forward to the interview with Kellogg because, he has said they have no play here. They really don't have much option. And I keep hearing that, well, they're just trying to stall. They're just trying to delay this thing. Very true. But at the same time, I've heard experts say that we're doing the same thing. We've blockaded them. We've completely cut them off. So they have no ability really to wait. So I'm interested to see how that dynamic is going to play out, according to General Keith Kellogg.
Yeah. And he'll give it to you straight.
I know.
He's not going to be a person who is going to mince words when he replies to us. So that will be at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. Now we have the YouTube poll for today. And this kind of stemmed from the interview that we did with Eric Burleson a while ago. He gave a lot of information. I think he kind of said some things that maybe hadn't been made completely mainstream public yet. We did an interview. He uploaded it onto his social media stuff and his YouTube channel, and it really caught on. So a lot of people saw this. This is how I told you a few weeks ago that I fell face first into the UFO UAP X timeline, and I was like, I'm in the wrong neighborhood right now. But I've learned a lot. I've paid attention to what they're looking for and expecting. So we were told last night things were a-stirring, and we're going to end up getting some of these alien UFO UAP documents revealed, and it sounds like, yeah, actually, they in fact did.
Good morning. So a White House official left this hard drive on my desk overnight. You can see on it, it says AARO files copy 203. That is the all domain resolution office copy 203. This is the first big batch of UFO disclosure ordered by President Trump. Some of the clips and videos on there have popped up different places before. Some of them have not. And we have been going through this all morning and overnight to try to put together some of the best videos so we can all look at this together. This is a world exclusive right here. So let's go to the first clip over the skies of the United Arab Emirates in June 2024. An inverted teardrop with a vertically linear trailing mass, as described by the War Department, suspended below. The War Department cannot say for sure what this is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report.
So it goes on to, there's a major visual component to this, but you can hear the way he's describing it. It's not just the object that you see, but it's also the way it moves and where it moves, which makes these things mysterious. So unidentified aerial phenomena, is that what we're is that what UAP is?
UAP.
So they're releasing information on this. We're going to talk more about the information that has come out today so far, and we're going to get you more reaction from people who are digging into this. I am very, like I told, face first into the wrong algorithm after the Burleson interview that I did. These people are having the best day of their life right now. Like, this is it.
Well, and they're going to come here because you're an expert now because you interviewed Burleson.
No.
That's what's going to happen.
No, see, I have you. What I'm scared that they'll do, you will do in jest, and we'll all laugh.
And then they'll assume that I'm serious. It'll become news.
Well, the right people will, and the right people won't, and we'll all be satisfied at the end of the day. I am a little too close to the information being released to jump headfirst into what the advocates. You know, I want a skeptic. My first conversation, I needed to be with a skeptic, not with an advocate, because I'm not here to be sold on anything. And I care deeply about not putting you in a position as a listener to the show to feel like you're being sold on anything. Now, we can have both perspectives, but we got to figure out what they are. first. And then, in maybe one of the biggest stories of the day that's probably not going to get the play that it should, at least I haven't really seen that it's getting the play that it should. Fox News reports this morning that the Virginia Supreme Court has tossed the Dem-backed redistricting map. That 10-1 Virginia map, gone. The Virginia Supreme Court said no. The Fox News report here says the Virginia Supreme Court on Friday invalidated a new voter-approved redistricting map, delivering a significant victory for Republicans in the state ahead of the fast-approaching 2026 midterm elections. When we interviewed Will Chamberlain about it, he said that the Virginia Supreme Court was the final authority on it. Lots to cover today, and Kevin Farley in the Annie Frey Show studio. Next. Air Comfort Service. You find them online at aircomfortservice.com, 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Become a preferred partner with Air Comfort Service. Really smart move, because you don't decide. It just happens. You don't check your HVAC system. You don't remember to. You're either in your comfort zone or you realized you've neglected your comfort zone and you got to catch back up and get there. This is where the preferred partner plan with Air Comfort Service comes in. When you call 314-513-0091, that's 314-513-0091, you get connected with Air Comfort Service. You can sign up to be a preferred partner and get regularly scheduled heating and cooling system checks. They're going to check the entire system 2 times a year. Discounts on diagnostic calls and repairs. A discount on new equipment should you have to go down that route. I certainly have. And you also are going to get priority service. So get the very best treatment from the best HVAC company in the St. Louis metro area. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com. Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show right here in St. Louis, Missouri. And I am so excited to welcome Kevin Farley into the studio, who will be performing at the Funnybone this weekend at both Westport and the streets of St. Charles. I'm going to give you those details here in a little bit, but you need to go to stlewisfunnybone.com right now. Get your tickets. You know how to figure out a website. Get them before the end when they're sold out, and then you can get them. stlewisfunnybone.com. Kevin Farley.
Hey, nice to see you. How are you?
I'm great. I was
Good.
doing a little research on you last night.
Yeah.
You're the thing that I came across last night that was my favorite.
Yeah.
Rascal Flatts.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I did a video.
A great music
yours
video.
if you want it. Yeah. And my friend, Christy Swanson, who got me involved with that. Yeah. And I sort of knew those guys from Rascal Flatts through Spade. I used to hang out with him. And Yeah, that's a fun video. We shot that in Nashville. I look really overweight.
You look great. I had to watch the whole video. I had to see how this ended.
But I did not deserve to be with that woman.
So I want to know. No, that's why I'm like, I know there is a story here to Kevin Farley, and you've been in movies and you do stand-up comedy, and we're so excited to have you here in St. Louis. And when I put you in there, and I'm doing a little research, and I'm like, or I think maybe Grok told me, he's like, Kevin Farley starred in a music video, among others, with Rascal Flatts. So I sat and watched the whole video.
Oh, thanks. Yours if you want. It's a great song.
Isn't it? I said this is great. Classic Rascal Flatts.
It is, and it's such a cool song. I love it. And, you know, those guys were the nicest. You know, I played golf with a couple of them, and they were the nicest guys. Yeah. No, it was a fun video. If you go get a chance, I thought, you know, when we did it, I'm like, oh, that's going to get an award or something, but it never did.
Well, there's still time, still out there. We're still finding it.
It was great.
So you've been involved in so many different things in your career, and you're still, you know, traveling the country. What is it like to be in music videos, to be in comedies, to do stand-up comedy, you know, all of these different things? What's your fave?
Oh, you know what? If you look, I did this the other day. If you look at my IMDb or whatever, you know, I can't believe how much I've done.
Do you remember?
I mean,
all
over
of them?
the years, it's crazy. I just stay, you know, in doing things. And my favorite goes back to a long time ago. I did a David Lynch, and I love David Lynch. And I did a David Lynch film, but I also worked with the Zucker brothers who did Airplane.
Yeah.
I love those guys. Yeah. And I love David. He's a good friend of mine. I did a show called American Carol. And that was just unbelievable to work with David Zucker. You know, I was blown away because I love Airplane and I love Naked Gun.
Yeah.
And those are my favorites.
Okay, now Ryan, my co-host here, he went. It wasn't Airplane. It was Naked Gun. Was the second one, the recent release,
the new one with Liam Neeson.
And he came back kind of giggling because they at least tried to do some of the bits that they used to.
Sure.
Did they make comedies like they used to anymore?
No, they don't make those either. But that one, David didn't do. They took it away from him. So it's like,
yeah.
Well, you're not going to compete with David Zucker.
Yeah, and Naked Gun, like I have. So I've got 4 kids. My oldest is 16. My youngest is 4.
Yeah.
But it's my goal to go through and. So my 16-year-old son, and then it's 3 girls, 13, 10, and 4. And I'm trying to go back and show them all these movies that I grew up with instead of showing them the new ones that are out here.
Yeah.
And my son and my daughter, the oldest, if it's an Adam Sandler movie, we're watching it.
Sure.
So we're into that. Like peak Adam Sandler time for them. But Spaceballs and, you know, going to the Goonies and all that type of stuff. There's just a different approach to entertainment. It
was just more scripted and more performed. Where I think the YouTube generation likes it more real and more reality-based kind of thing, which is funny. But I do love the old school scripted kind of performance thing, you know, like all Sandler's stuff. And just they don't make those anymore. It's not profitable for the studios. So they're just like, we're going to abandon that whole thing, which is sad because – you know, those movies were, you know, $15 million to make or something like that. And they wouldn't, you know, they make not that much more or something like that. So the studios are like, well, this isn't profitable. Let's go make a Spider-Man film, you know, or something like that.
Well, you should be the next Spider-Man.
Yeah. Really overweight Spider-Man. My web would snap.
A lot of people would go see.
Imagine a big fat Spider-Man and he goes, the web snaps. He just goes down and hurts himself.
I'd see that.
Kevin Farley in studio.
I would too.
Yeah, you just got to write the right script, right?
Yeah.
Kevin Farley in studio with us right now. This weekend at Westport Funnybone and the streets of St. Charles Funnybone, I implore you, if you've never given stand-up comedy a chance, we are a society very, very lacking in just doubling over and laughing. This is where you go. You don't even realize that you could laugh this hard, and I don't think we do laugh. I mean, to actually LOL these days.
Yeah.
We say LOL all the time. We don't even smile anymore when we LOL. You might find something amusing.
We're indicted with all these seriousness, like politics. That's enough of it, you know. So I try to just go have a good time. I think that's what people want, you know, a good dinner, nice movie without being inundated with negativity.
I think that there are a few movies. I saw Project Hail Mary recently, and it's been interesting to me that the story around Project Hail Mary was like the author said, I just want to tell you a good story. And you
Yeah.
could say, you could take it and make it whatever you want. To hear you say that, like bringing people out to your show or a movie that you're in or a music video you're in, that you see it as an opportunity to just cut loose and have a good time.
Yeah,
it's refreshing.
Let's laugh at ourselves and about humanity, and just there's enough going on. There's
enough to laugh at.
We're crazy.
Yeah.
So we're nutty enough to not be so negative. We got to get it more positive around here.
I
Kevin,
agree.
you've been doing stand-up for long enough that in my lifetime, it's almost like you've seen ebbs and flows of the popularity of stand-up. We got to be at a high watermark right now, right?
I've never seen stand-ups make so much money. I'm like, what's
Right.
wrong with me? Come on. My God, all my friends are like, I sold out Boston Garden. I'm like, whoa. I sold out my backyard. My family came back, No, I mean, my God, I've never seen these guys make so much money. They're selling out arenas, so it's a strange time because stand-up is, the best stand-up for me is like a, low ceiling, dark, kind of a club kind of a thing where
It's very funny bone-esque.
Yeah.
It's kind of intimate, an intimate where you'll be
right.
It's like an intimate
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, we're gonna talk some treason down here. Say some
you got to lean in a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna say some things we shouldn't, That's the way I always see it. But man, these places, I mean, these guys are making internet has really brought it up to a level that so
Do you think part of that is because the market, like you said, they're not just making $15 million movies anymore or higher than that.
Yeah.
And it's because, maybe, stand up, this is just one guy on a stage. That's a lot cheaper.
Listen, bands, like I've been talking around, he handles bands a lot, and it's a lot of expense to bring in all the you need a truck, you need all kinds of stuff. It's expensive, and I just need a microphone.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as you put a water bottle on the stool, and I'm good.
You're listening to Kevin Farley here in studio with us on 97.1. He will be at the streets of St. Charles and Westport this weekend. So find the one that works with you and the date that works with you, but go to stlewisfunnybone.com and get your tickets before they're gone because they are going to go fast. What goes into, first and foremost, do you have a set? If you go see Kevin Farley on one night versus the next, how much might that change?
I've got, a lot of different things. I'm always working out stuff. So I'll work it out in the middle or something like that and try to add to stories and this and that. So I'll start out with a basic thing and run it and then try to add to it, or else make another bit that I'm trying to work on and stuff like that. But I'm always trying to rotate stuff because, things will just, run its time, run its course. So you have to keep changing. You have to keep working on things. So.
Is there a difference between how you entertain people and get people to laugh and what you find funny, or do you take what makes you laugh and give it to other people?
I try to do that, but it's hard because the only thing that makes me laugh is when somebody falls down.
That never fails, right?
Yeah,
Love the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but also just the world's funniest videos. If I see a bride that go into a river,
It's gold.
I mean that's gold. They try so hard on the wedding and then they fall in like mud.
You're super disappointed when it just ends happily
Yeah,
and everybody's
no.
clean and still white.
No, and it just fails. I go through the YouTubes and I see people falling, and I'm just like, oh my God.
It's like medicine.
Oh, it's so great. Motorcycle accidents, like, oh God. It's so hilarious.
Have you ever gone up on stage and just tried to describe videos you've seen?
It's one of those you have to be there kind of things, You just have to watch it.
Your brother, Chris Farley, is kind of did that with like Paul McCartney.
That's true.
That's
That's
kind
true.
of that's actually. You remember that one time?
Yeah,
when-
yeah. They only just wrote what he did. Too.
Yeah.
It was so embarrassing. We'd be meeting like something like Paul McCartney. I'd be like, all right, now hold it together.
Wow, yeah.
Oh man.
Don't be weird.
Strong
And he
genetics.
couldn't help it. He'd be like, ah.
Kevin, would you mind staying for another segment? We could talk a little bit more about you being here in St. Louis.
Yes, of course.
All right. Kevin Farley in studio with us. Go grab those tickets right here on a quick break. stlewisfunnybone.com. We'll be right back.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to talk to you about HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com right now. Your owner, Matt Hayes, when you give him a call at 314-271-9900, you are quickly going to understand why people in St. Louis, Missouri, Illinois alike hire Matt Hayes to come check out the basement that has water in it. We always talk about the leaky basement. You need to get rid of it. Foundations don't fix themselves. They get worse, and by worse, what you need to hear is more expensive. If you call Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair, you're going to invite him to your home, and he's going to look at your basement, figure out what you're dealing with, and give you a solution that you can then hire. See if you trust him. Most people do. Everybody who I've talked to who've worked with him, and he explains about how many of those Annie Frey Show listeners he's meeting and being able to service. It's a match made in heaven because you're going to have your foundation restored wholly when you're done working with Home Shield Foundation Repair. Call him directly at 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900 and get that foundation concern looked at right away. You'll be glad you hired Matt Hayes. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. When you're injured in a car accident, insurance adjusters are not on your side. They're always adjusting their settlement offers, lower and lower. We'll get your settlement higher and higher. Call 314-777-7777.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Sometimes it seems all lawmakers do is tax and spend. That's why Missouri voters passed the Hancock Amendment in 1980 to place a limit on what the government can do with your money. But the Hancock Amendment is outdated. It hasn't provided a taxpayer refund since 1999 and probably won't without reform. That's why Missouri needs a taxpayer Bill of Rights. Colorado has one, and taxpayers there have received more than $8 billion in refunds. It's simple. There should be limits on government spending and refunds when there's a surplus in the state budget. A taxpayer Bill of Rights constitutional amendment would help limit the growth of government. Missouri's budget has nearly doubled in the past 5 years, yet the state lags far behind states like Colorado in economic growth. The Hancock Amendment was supposed to protect taxpayers. Now it's time for an update and a taxpayer Bill of Rights. After all, it's your money. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Another giveaway for Guns N' Hoses coming up this afternoon, just a little bit after 2:30. It is 12:31 right now. Kevin Farley in studio and stuck around for another segment, so you should stick around for another one as well. 12:32 now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Where common sense rules the mic. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
When was the last time you reenacted the music video for Rascal Flatts here, Kevin Farley in studio? This is a good song.
It's a great song. I love it. It's a great song. That guy's got a great voice, too. It's just that when I watched that video, I was about 280. So and I jump on the bed. Memory? And I'm playing the guitar, and I can't. It doesn't look. I can't play guitar. My gut is sticking out, and I can't barely get the guitar around my gut. And then I jump on a bed, and during the shoot, I was like, I hope his bed doesn't crash.
Kevin, I just want to say that while I was watching this last night with my daughter, I never was thinking those thoughts.
Oh, thank you very much.
I was charmed by the whole music video.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
I was thinking that.
My friends all call me like, dude, you look huge in that.
That's how you know they're your real friends.
There's no way that's your girlfriend. That's unbelievable.
Oh, man. You do get her number in the end, though. We'll remind
That's
people
true.
of that.
Yeah, I feel bad for that. My girlfriend in the end of that, but she was mean. So.
She deserved it. It was like a perfect 3.5 minutes of the perfect little story arc. The witchy lady in the end gets hers, and you get the number, and
That's right.
you're flapping on the bed with the guitar.
I get to break a mattress.
Let's talk about Kevin Farley starring in Pickleball, a movie coming out this summer. Tell me about this film.
Well, it's a little movie I wrote with my wife and directed by Jay Walters. And, it's a small little community center, and I'm a priest, a Catholic priest that helps my friend out who dies. And we have to get the community center back up and running, and he left it to his derelict sons. And he appears to me as a ghost and tries to guide me to get win the pickleball tournament and win the community center back. So it's a real Oscar winner.
Kevin Farley, do you play pickleball? Do you play pickleball now? Did you play it before the movie started?
Never. But I learned on set, and we played a lot on set, and there's a lot of, people. But I played a lot of tennis. So I did know I had the swing down, and it's a great game because the ball is, you can swing as hard as you can, and the ball doesn't really go that far. So it's cool. It's a cool game. That's why it's so popular. But
yeah,
it was fun to play on there. It's a great game to watch and to play.
Pickleball is it's like this inner sanctum. Like once you're in, you're in. And I have not yet gone in.
Right.
To the pickleball world, but I know that once I do it, I'm going to want to play. I like sports.
You're going to want to play. If you can get a person to come out with you and you get a group of people that are into it, it's a great way to do it. You get exercise and you get to, it's almost like wiffle ball. You ever play wiffle ball? Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I love it.
So
I love it.
Pickleball, the movie, comes out when and where can people make sure they put this on their calendar to see?
Yeah, it'll come out June 19th, and it'll be on Amazon and some other places, just streaming kind of platforms. But our big one is Amazon and some of the other big platforms.
My TV, when I turn on my TV at home, you just type in on the home screen the name, and then it's like, here are the 6 platforms you can watch it on.
Yeah.
These you have?
Yes.
These you have to pay for.
Exactly. So you'll find it. It'll be all over the internet, So it's a great movie. It's a fun little movie. Everybody can watch.
You wrote it with your wife?
Yeah, my wife, she and I looked at it and redid it. Yeah. Mostly her, though. She's better at that.
Do you work a lot together?
We do. Yeah, we actually do. She helps me with jokes and stuff like that. She's very critical,
Did you guys meet in comedy?
Yes, actually. She wrote a play called Ha in New York. And she's not that critical, by the way. She's very good.
Just for the record.
We
exactly.
just assumed that she probably was.
No,
Sorry about
she's
that.
Not. But she wrote it's about stand-up comedy. And I met her on the play, and she wrote it and directed it, and that was in New York, and it was a while ago, but that's where we met. It was great.
You've talked a lot about your family. It sounds like family's important to you.
Yeah.
You're, here in St. Louis at the streets of St. Charles and at the Westport, the Funnybone, stlewisfunnybone.com. Grab your tickets before they're gone. We've talked a little bit about your brother, Chris, but it seems like the comedy business is a family business in the Farley family.
Yeah. It's one of those things where we all just started to do it. Once Chris started to do it, I have a brother, John, that does it out in California. And, we just sort of got into it and never stopped.
Were you funny at home together?
Yeah. We had 4 boys, so it was a competition. If you didn't make me laugh or you didn't make each other laugh, you were a loser.
That said like true.
Yeah.
One of 4 boys.
But you were a real loser if you couldn't do it. That's not joking around.
Yeah.
No,
was
you would be
everybody
beat
funny?
up.
Were you all?
Yeah, but it was a serious thing. Like a lot of guys play basketball, or for others play basketball, or whatever they do. That was our serious thing. Like you would get beat up if you weren't funny. You'd be like you're ostracized.
Who was the funniest of the 4?
Well, obviously, you can't really compete with somebody like Chris because he would go. You'd dare him to do something and he'd do it. And most people would be like, "Oh, I can't do that."
Watch
he would do it. He'd be like, "Watch me. Yeah, I'm going to do that."
Yeah.
No matter what. no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd be like, I can't believe you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he have when he would do something? If someone would be like, I dare you to do it." Is that the phrase? I dare you. Was it double dog dare you, or just Chris? You got to do this. Did he ever look back and go, I shouldn't have done that?
Yeah. Well, he pulled his pants down in typing class, which got him kicked out of school.
Permanently?
No, he came back another year, but yeah.
Never learned to type, though.
Never learned to type.
Were
He
any of
typed with his, you know what I want. He's good. Yeah.
He's always slow.
He did, yeah. He was good at it, though. He was really good at it.
It's really more on a quality, not quantity situation.
Well, that's a practice. Practice makes perfect kind of scenario.
Yeah, sure. But the lady next to him, she freaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can kind of understand everybody in the situation.
There was a couple other people in the class that are like, yeah, that's Chris, you know. But she didn't like it. All right, come on, you know. Come on.
What's up with her?
What's up with her?
Were you or your other brothers? I mean, maybe not to the extent with which he would not turn down a dare. Did you have different brands of comedy in the family?
Well, a lot of it was physical and beating each other up.
The falling down thing.
Falling down. Yeah, we weren't bright. So
if you're super funny, you
right.
don't really
and
have
I
to
always
be.
don't think comedy, you know, we were more clownish where we weren't smart enough. There's a lot of comedians that are trying to be the most clever guy in the room.
To take themselves too seriously to be a
Yeah,
comedian?
well, they're smart and funny. You know, we were just like, you know, to be an
Stooges
idiot.
kind of stuff?
It was to be more of an idiot to me. You know, like who could be the biggest idiot? That I think is still funny. You know, who could be the dumbest?
How was the age difference between all four boys?
Well, let's see. My brother, my sister's the oldest, so she was in another section of the house. And then my brother Tom's like 3 years older. Chris and I are like a year apart, maybe. And then John's like 3 years younger than I am. So
okay,
yeah.
So you're at the streets of St. Charles, Westport this weekend. People go to stlewisfunnybone.com and reserve your tickets for the show that fits your schedule. Get, like you said, get dinner. Just go out and take a load off. Have a great time. What kind of what do you do? Do you talk about, you said, life, family? What kind of observations?
My wife and I have an interesting life. She's very eccentric and fun, and we have 8 dogs.
Oh, what kind?
That's not my idea, but yeah, she comes home with a new one, and I'm like, oh, okay. We have all kinds. We have a pug. We have 3 Pomeranians. We have a Dachshund. We have a Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
And a Chinese
Some jokes laying around that dog.
Chin.
Yeah.
What, the Shih Tzu? Oh, I've got a couple jokes on that. You
Probably
can't help it, right?
Yeah, we grew up with them as well.
They're cute, but they're odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're cute. I love them. Shih Tzus are great.
Do you run the house? Do you and your wife run the house, or the dog? You run the house around the dogs?
They run the show, yeah. 8 of them, so yeah, there's something we got to do every 5 minutes. It's like running a little, kennel. You know, I think legally might be a kennel. I don't know.
I would look into it.
Yeah,
There'll be some taxes and fees that you don't know you're obligated to.
So it's amazing, yeah. But you know what? They're good kids. You know, we just we gotta keep feeding them. It's pretty easy, But they get temperamental. Yeah, they sleep with us too.
Oh.
Yeah, Humphrey sleeps up by my head, and then the Dachshund sleeps right next to you. And the pug always, he smells.
Does he still sleep with you?
Yeah, but he smells.
I got to ask you, just because we're running out of time, about pickleball.
Yeah.
You mentioned how hard it is to get movies made.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like you wrote a movie and you're like, hey, let's just go make it.
Well, Jay, who's, if you can only do it if there's some rich guy,
Yeah, of course.
you got to go find a rich guy.
Yeah.
And I found one.
That's your brother.
That's great.
Jay.
I didn't know that was that easy.
But it's, it's not like you're throwing your money. You're taking a chance.
Yeah. He's taking a chance, right?
He's taking it, but he loves movies. This guy, Jay Walters. And he just, if you go to his website, which you can't remember, but
you can Google.
Yeah, you can Google Jay Walters. He is a real aficionado, and he's got the backing. So we had that guy. But the studios, no. But if you find some guy that's really into it and wants to make a funny comedy, you can still do it. You can be very creative with it.
Probably helps to be connected for a few decades to be a trusted source of music videos and
I think it does help that way, and it helps you have to be known for something not criminal, but something.
Well, I mean, unless
something.
it's really funny criminal.
Funny criminal,
like
yeah.
typewriters and such. Kevin Farley in studio with us. Last question before we go, just a little bit of like current events news. You show up here and they release the files on the aliens. I haven't dug through them.
I think I read that.
Do you have any curiosity about extraterrestrial life? Is it like if it happens, it'll happen around you and you're just going to...
Yeah.
What's your reaction to that?
I don't really think about it. And then every once in a while this comes up and I'm like, I don't know. If I saw an alien, I'd be like, what's up? What's up? And like, you're from another planet? Cool, man. You want to go to Five Guys? I don't know.
Do they call it Five Guys?
Yeah. They'd be like, take me to Five Guys.
That's why we're here.
Take me to Five Guys. I don't know. That's probably what I do. Yeah. I don't think I'd freak out because... Okay, you're from another planet. Nice to meet you.
All the news stories that I've covered, this one, it seems like nobody's really. There's always the group of people taking it super seriously.
Yeah.
But everyone else is like, you remember the movie Independence Day when the aliens are coming and they're about to kill everyone and they're like, hey, they're like, wow, we're here, and then they blow them up. We are the strippers on the top of whatever that New York City building is right now, going, welcome.
Yay.
Although I don't know in the long run that's not maybe the best way to be.
Of course, who knows what they are? I don't know if there's been so many hoaxes that you're kind of like, what's this? Is this another one or is this real? I don't know. You just don't know,
Kevin Farley, you're just a treasure to have in here. Thank you for spending some of your time with us this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Come out to my shows.
Please do. Go tell them, go see the show. If you stick around, tell them that you heard about it here on 97.1 on the Annie Frey Show at Westport and at the Funnybone St. Charles, the streets of St. Charles. That's where I go. I just love it. It's such a fun time, and you owe it to yourself to just sit down and take an evening and enjoy yourself in the company of those who you love, and Kevin Farley will keep you entertained the entire time. Thanks so much for having us in here with you today. We appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Just got done speaking here in studio for a couple of segments with Kevin Farley. He's such a nice guy and incredibly funny. His movie coming out this summer, Pickleball, but you can get your entertainment from Kevin Farley tonight, this weekend, as he's performing at the Funnybone Westport tonight at 7:30 and 9:30, and then at the Streets of St. Charles on Saturday at 6 and 8:30. Sunday at 6. And also, KevinFarleyOfficial.com is the website. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the things that he has going on there, KevinFarleyOfficial.com. Wiggins America, let's do it.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! The bee or not the bee?
All right, these are stories that are either fake from the Babylon Bee, which would make them satire, or they're real. I'll read the headline. Tell me if you think it's real or fake. First one, kids circumventing age detection software by drawing mustaches on their faces.
Oh, no.
Tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Annie on this one. Real.
You guys are both right. This is a real story, as various laws around the world have
I
begun.
want to know what they were trying to access.
I'll tell you. Enforcing age restrictions for things like social media, gaming, pornography, and other things. Companies have had to pivot how they verify the age of their users.
Haven't you been to any of these? I don't know, Ryan, if you've seen, your son is a 6th grader?
Yeah.
Have you been to any games where he's played against boys with mustaches?
Oh,
in middle school?
It's begun where someone will have full beard.
It's frightening at that age specifically, the
this
middle
is-
school age, because you have people who look like they just finished 4th grade because they haven't hit puberty yet, and then the other ones who've got a mortgage. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you're like, depending on where your kid is in that one, you're like, oh, don't hurt anybody. And, oh, my God, get off the floor. You don't know what to do about
I've
it.
had to tell him recently, sorry you didn't win your robotics competition against a team full of Abe Lincolns. But that's the way it is. And I guess they're 8th grade. You're like, come on, are you sure these kids are 8th grade?
Yeah, that middle school age it's a challenge.
Yeah. Many have turned to AI to look at or to determine age, but kids always find a way. For example, in the UK, The Independent reports that kids have been circumventing these age checks with the most ridiculous looking fake mustaches, and they work. It says kids are using the classic mustache ruse to get past the machines.
The classic mustache ruse. What would you use? I could see you doing one. Just get a better mustache.
The way they talk, I didn't show pictures,
Yeah.
but the way the article talked about it, they're drawing these stupid like pencil mustaches that have these twirls at the end.
Like Miss
I'm 40.
Uncle Fest. Is it Munster? Ed Munster? Is he the one who had?
Oh,
one of
you're
those?
talking about Gomez.
Yeah.
Gomez.
He kind of had that, right? A little.
I think so.
You had the pencil thing.
Gotta be black,
Yeah,
Sharpie,
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
emphatic.
Yeah.
Rich.
I'm 40. I can gamble.
Voice
You've got
cracks.
You have this one
I'm
man
40.
inside of you that just comes out every day in various ways.
All right. California governor debate descends into chaos as Katie Porter dumps scalding mashed potatoes on moderators.
Well, that is a great satire headline because there's an ex-husband of hers that maybe did experience that.
Yeah, this is the bee.
It is the bee. Witnesses said the incident occurred roughly 43 minutes into the debate when moderators attempted to ask Porter about repeated allegations of her abusing staff and family members. Quote, "You want to play that game with me? Have a taste," shouted Porter, producing an industrial-sized stock pot filled with boiling hot potatoes. Quote, "I'm going to melt those lips together so you can never open your mouth to question me again. How dare you ask me about my temperament?"
Did you see the Katie Porter ad where she's got this like super peppy kind of 30-second spot on television and she's like, I'm not like them. I'm like you. I push my own grocery cart. And it's just kind of this upbeat kind of bebop thing.
No, I haven't seen
and then
this.
at the end, she's got all these people who are just like her, like normies in the background. And at the end, she turns around, "Now get out of my shot!" Because she said that on that Zoom.
Oh, so
Where
she's
she was
trying
like-
to make it funny.
Yeah,
lean
it's
it
not.
into it.
Everyone's like, I think she's serious. I think we need to leave.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
There's nothing about her that is funny. Like she just, you don't have that. That's not what you do. This is how Marco Rubio, one of the reasons he didn't win the primary in 2016 is because he tried to beat Donald Trump his own game. Remember, little hands and all that stuff? He went kaput because it's not what he does. What he did is, we'll maybe play it later, that New American Century was the name of his campaign in 2016. But what does America look like for the future? And he just regurgitates this beautiful soliloquy of what America could look like in the future. And everybody stops and listens like, oh, that's what he does. Not little hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was it for him. Katie Porter needs to, I'm sorry, Katie Porter, don't try to be nice.
Or funny.
It's not going to come off.
Don't make your
nice.
huge embarrassments that everybody knows exist into really bad jokes.
Yeah. I've never seen her do or say anything that had any levity to it whatsoever.
No, she's very serious about herself, except apparently when the consultants tell her not to be.
It's the best we got, guys.
Yeah, okay,
Roll with it.
All right, California threatens to send more of its citizens to other states if they don't give in to its demands. B. Quote, our states may be well-run and growing, said Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, but we still can't survive an attack of this magnitude of having to deal with Californians. At publishing time, President Donald Trump had said there was little he could do. Quote, I only have authority over America, he said. I'm not sure that applies to California anymore.
Ouch.
Yeah. Next one. Is it too late to ask who Jerry Mander is? KJB whispers to Clarence Thomas.
This is B.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, quote, I feel like I could offer more if I know who they're talking about, Jackson was heard saying. I've been hearing everyone say gerrymander this and gerrymander that.
Who the heck is he?
No clue who this man is supposed to be. Should I know who this is? One source said, quote, you could tell this wasn't the first time she's asked a question of this magnitude. At one point, she actually proposed that gerrymander be brought in to be questioned by the court. It was embarrassing.
They should bring in a staffer and be like, here, ask him what you need to ask. This guy doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Right. There he is. Guy with a kid with a mustache. Last one.
Sure.
Trump promises to learn from his mistakes as soon as he does something wrong.
Oh, real. Oh.
It's the B. He's right. Nice sound. Quote, I'll be the first to admit it if it ever happens, which it won't, the president told reporters. If I ever do anything wrong, which has never happened before in all of human history, it'd be really something if it did happen, frankly. Then I promise to learn from my mistakes. I'm a very humble man, maybe even the most humble. So I'm eager to grow and change if the occasion should call for it.
Fantastic. All right, this is the B or not the B. We appreciate you hanging out with us for the noon hour. A reminder, you can stream us on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, wherever you go. Crystal clear connection. You find 97.1 FM Talk and the Annie Frey Show there. Take us with you. We'd love to come along. Go vote in the YouTube poll. Would the existence of extraterrestrial alien life forms alter your religious beliefs? General Kellogg next.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Well, if you missed it, Kevin Farley was just in studio with us, and it was such a fun conversation to learn about him and everything that his career has coming up, but also a lot of the things that he's done already. But his career and his comedy is making a stop right here in St. Louis tonight and through the weekend. And I want you to go and have the best time. Laugh it up with Kevin Farley at the Funny Bone. So here is the schedule. Kevin Farley at the Funny Bone at Westport tonight at 7:30 and 9:30 p.m. He's also going to be on Saturday at the Funny Bone at Streets of St. Charles at 6 and 8:30. So 2 shows Saturday and an additional show on Sunday at the Streets of St. Charles Funny Bone at 6 o'clock. You will not be disappointed with this show. You're going to laugh a lot. And of course, Mary Mack is also in town as well. If you're looking to get tickets and you got a free night, make sure you do it in a way that's going to have you laughing the whole time. Get a good meal and a great laugh at the St. Louis Funny Bone. You can buy your tickets right now by going to stlouisfunnybone.com.
Corey, from Air Comfort Service? Why are you standing next to my AC?
I'm standing behind our work.
But it's 8 p.m. You're just going to stand behind my air conditioner?
Yeah, pretty much.
Could you turn off the sprinkler then?
Absolutely. At Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation, we take pride in our work. If you need a new air conditioner or HVAC system, you can trust we'll install the equipment correctly. Plus, for a limited time, qualify for rebates up to $2,600 and 0% financing for up to 72 months. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
KFTK FM Florissant.
An Odyssey station.
Iran's response may come within hours. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. The U.S. expects Tehran to respond today to a proposed memorandum of understanding to end the war. And President Trump says the ceasefire is still on, calling yesterday's airstrikes love taps.
The 3 U.S. warships targeted by Iran Thursday faced nonstop incoming fire from Iranian drones and missiles as they traversed 500 miles through the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz. We also now know that it was one F-18 Super Hornet that struck the 2 empty oil tankers trying to break the blockade. CENTCOM released video of the MT Sea Star 3 and MT Sevda being struck and now on fire in the Gulf of Oman. They were hit before they could reach Iranian ports.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin. President Trump says the ceasefire remains in effect. Meantime, the president has reportedly approved a plan to fire FDA Commissioner Marty Makary. The Wall Street Journal, citing sources familiar with the matter, who say the decision comes after Makary faced criticism over vaping, abortion, and drug policy. The move is not final and could change. Speaking at the White House Rose Garden a short time ago, President Trump told reporters his administration is cutting drug prices by making most favored nation deals with several major drug companies.
I think it's one of the biggest things that we've done. Drugs that were costing in London $10 for a pill would cost $130 for a pill in the United States. And now, if it's $10 or if it's $20, that's what we pay.
The president spoke after hosting a White House Mother's Day event to honor angel moms, mothers whose children were killed by undocumented immigrants, and Gold Star mothers who lost children in military service. America's listening to Fox News.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-983-2077 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-983-2077. That's 800-983-2077. What do you have to lose? Call 800-983-2077. Again, 800-983-2077.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Our temperature's feeling a little bit better this afternoon. Partly sunny skies, though we'll keep an eye out for a couple of showers developing. A better chance of some showers tonight, 53. The Mother's Day weekend forecast, it's not too bad. Saturday, partly sunny, warm it up to 80. Sunday, some scattered morning showers, otherwise partly sunny and cooler Sunday, 72. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get your AC ready for summer while helping shelter pets. Book your AC clean and check in April, and Air Comfort Service will donate a bag of pet food to Open Door Animal Sanctuary. aircomfortservice.com/petfood.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
But the point is, if there's not much seizing in the firing, because we've
well, you should ask that of the Iranians. Don't ask me. We didn't fire. They fired on us. My point is, if you fire at a U.S. Navy ship, what are we supposed to do? Say, oh, there's a ceasefire. We're not going to shoot down your drone. That's a stupid question. That's a stupid position to take. Of course we fired back at them. They were shooting at us. That's what I would expect to do. Only stupid countries don't shoot back when you're shot at.
Man, I don't know how else to say it other than what Secretary of State Rubio just said right there. We've been interviewing our friend General Keith Kellogg here on the Annie Frey Show for weeks, and he's been saying something consistently, which is you can't sit down and just have a talky negotiation with people who will never listen to reason, who you can never trust. And it does look as though some of those advisements that he has made have been necessary to move this along to a natural conclusion. Let's get an update with Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg, co-chair of American Security at America First Policy Institute, also former assistant to the president and special presidential envoy for Ukraine. General, thank you for being with us today. It's a pleasure to have you back.
Thanks, Annie. It's good to be with you. Yeah, I listened to Secretary Rubio. He nailed it. It was right on track what he should be doing. Look, I got to be honest with you. You kind of said it. I don't trust these guys. They've never been honest with us for the last 40 plus years. They've been our enemy, and it's one of those when you get into it. They've got a thing called the Mosaic Doctrine, and what the Mosaic Doctrine does, it decentralizes our command and control. So you may have a guy out there in Bandar Abbas shooting at us, and the supreme leader doesn't know about it. That's what I said. You probably need a whole new change of government until we get somebody reasonable in there. The only guy that's been reasonable has been the president.
Yeah. I want to ask you, because we have very limited time with you and we're grateful for it. We continue to, we're sitting here very comfortably in the middle of the country in a studio, and we see headlines on television which say U.S. awaits Iranian response to peace plan. And I'm not holding my breath, and I do trust President Trump to see this thing through. But I don't know what peace is actually going to materialize and look like here. I'm wondering what you would like to see.
Well, it reaches a point where once you go to war with somebody, you have to finish the job, and you can't go half-baked. And the fact of the matter is, this whole key is going to be this enrichment of uranium, because that's what President Trump has always wanted, that they are not going to develop into nuclear power like there are 9 other countries we don't need to attempt. And so let's see what their response is going to be. I am not convinced, even if it's a positive response, that you can trust these guys. I mean, you get rid of Hitler, and you going to trust Hitler? No. Well, that means a theocratic government's got to go. And I know that it's possibly extending the envelope, but it reaches a point to really trust those guys, not for our generation, but for our kids and our grandkids, because these guys are absolutely nuts. And I've dealt with them before. And I have no confidence that they're going to do anything that they say they're going to do. And especially this guy, their foreign minister, who we're negotiating with, this guy named Arachi. You still there?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yes, can you hear me okay?
And Arachi wrote a book on negotiations. Remember, if you've ever been to the Middle East, you go to a rug bazaar and you go to buy a rug, there's no price tag on it. You barter back and forth. And he wrote the book on that. His parents were rug merchants. You understand what you're dealing with. These are not reasonable people. So once we understand that, then I think the next step is going to play itself out. And the president's absolutely right. You don't want to give our grandkids a threat on the horizon. You just don't.
Yeah, and he has very clear a clear goal in mind. General, before we let you go, when we look at the makeup of the Middle East and those countries in the region surrounding Iran and those countries who have been with us in the past or maybe are with us in the future, does it look like that maybe a forceful peace that has to be reinstilled because you can't trust Iran, at least not for the time being? Are we going to have allies in the area that are going to help us enforce whatever that looks like?
Yeah, I believe so. It's sort of like I'm watching the UAE very closely because the Emiratis are good. First of all, they fight. They were with us in Afghanistan, so they're partners, and they're responding pretty well. I'm not so sure about the Saudis yet. They haven't really played, or the Bahrainis, or anybody right about there. I know Israel's going to do a good job. But I think the key one is the Emiratis. They're big. They've got a powerful military. It's small, but it's very powerful. And I think they'll be there when they and standing up for us. And they're critical because they border the Persian Gulf and they border the Strait of Hormuz. So they'll be there when we need them.
All right. Well, we are grateful for your time. We're going to let you go, Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg. Thank you so much for giving us some of your expertise this afternoon.
Thanks, Annie.
Take care. Bye-bye. The co-chair of American Security at America First Policy Institute, former assistant to the president and special presidential envoy for Ukraine on X at General Kellogg. I encourage you to go follow him on X, and you can see a lot of the different things that he's doing there. I appreciate this clip that I played of Marco Rubio at the beginning. We're
not a stupid country.
We're not a stupid country.
That's
the way he says that. He says you'd be stupid not to fire back when people are firing upon you. But it's almost a little bit of a departure of what we've been willing to do for quite some time. Maybe not taking literal fire, but America has behaved in a stupid country kind of way for a bit of time, expecting things to happen that would never happen while they're taking an inch, and pretty soon it's miles.
Yeah, we've been under a policy of appeasement for many administrations recently. Guess what? I'm pointing to you, Democrats. That's been the MO for foreign policy for Obama and Biden for sure. George W. Bush wasn't that way, and Trump isn't either. Trump has been so weird because his first term, he has been very different in his second term regarding foreign policy. I think he always wants to solve it with economics, but when you can't, he's willing to do it.
Well, it's not even, I don't think that the second term distinction is that he tried to do it with economics and he couldn't. Donald Trump couldn't do anything in his first term. Donald Trump didn't have a single moment in his first term where he was fighting a fair fight. He wasn't able to fight for the American people because he had to fight the American government that was set up against him. And, in a twist of irony, his fight against the bureaucratic nonsense that was existing right there, the subversion that happened around every nook and cranny corner, his fight against that was actually probably the ultimate fight that he needed to win for the American people. In order to get to a place where you can potentially denuclearize and bring a level of peace to the Middle East. I mean, it's not unreal to talk about how President Trump has brought peace, which is an identification of a moment in time right now. There's never a guarantee of perpetual peace. It's always challenged. It always has to be maintained. But he's a force to be reckoned with in every move that he makes. And I really cannot grasp people who put all their eggs in the basket of just trying to make you think he's the devil. There aren't even policy discussions in that. There aren't even moments where those people can acknowledge that maybe this is going well, and while it's going well, I think it would be better if the policy were that. It's just it's a visceral, natural bodily response to a person that they hate so much. And I'm not saying this in jest. I'm not saying this as I'm not trying to score a point or something on anybody. I don't know what he did to them to contort them into such visceral hatred that rises to where it's the only thing that matters. Because there are a lot of people out there right now who do not like Donald Trump, but they're glad he's the president. And they might not even tell you that, but they don't wake up in the morning thinking about how much they hate him. They hate having to talk about him. They'd hate having to discuss it. They hate liking his policies and having to defend him to the nervous white people, which is what Jeroy called them earlier this week. To those people who eat, sleep, and breathe, just hating him. Their goal is to take him down. It's not too much to say that there is an assassination culture out there where the more you normalize, and we'll talk a little bit about Mark Hamill when we come back, the more you normalize the death of someone, the less shocking it's going to be when it happens. There is an inevitability that exists in our culture right now about the end of Donald Trump's life. There is an inevitability to it. That's crazy. Do you remember Jimmy Carter? Do you remember when they wheeled Jimmy Carter to go vote? Do you remember when they celebrated the fact, what was the last thing that Jimmy Carter did that like really was publicly consumed? It was his vote. And he was a very frail old man. And his value was his vote for Kamala. They celebrate that longevity with him and they, preserve that moment and that opportunity. And they just casually talk about the president of the United States losing his life. And they do it. And then when you say, you can't do that, they go, oh, well, I don't mean it like that. Yes, you do. We all know you do. You're normalizing this type of discussion and you're dehumanizing a soul. And it doesn't matter if you agree with that soul, if you disagree with that soul. You don't have the right to dehumanize anyone. And I don't have the right to do it to people who I politically disagree with. And you don't have the right to do it either. And we should call it out for what it is. I don't care if you like him. I don't care if you vote for him. I don't care if you politically support him. I don't care if you politically detest him. But if we don't value humanity, then what do we value? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to speak with Keith Sonderling, who's the acting labor secretary for the Trump administration. Coming up next, right? Is that right? Coming up next here at 118, Keith Sonderling, acting labor secretary. Next. Don't go away. The Retirement Advisory Group, online at retirementkey.com, 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494. The Retirement Advisory Group is ready to connect with you and hoping that you're ready to connect with them. Because if you are, then that means you've got that itch, that scratch to move into retirement. You've been dreaming about it. You've been working your tail off for it. Now you got to ask the really scary question. Did you do enough? Do you have enough? Can you make it happen? And the only reason it's scary, I'm telling you this right now, the only reason why it's scary is because you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. When you reach out to the Retirement Advisory Group, they're going to fill in all those gaps for you. And you might get incredible news. And you might find out, you're just a year or two away. You get a plan put in place so that you have money that's going to last you for the rest of your life. You get that when you call and schedule a free appointment with the Retirement Advisory Group. 314-993-9494 and tell them Annie sent you at the Retirement Advisory Group. retirementkey.com.
The big jobs report for April. 65,000 expected. Nay, nay, nay. We are much stronger. 115,000. 115. And last month, upward revision from 178 to 185. These are good numbers.
So when you got CNBC going, nay, 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 what is on the horizon there? Let's get to our guest. We're going to speak now with Keith Sonderling, the acting labor secretary. You can find him on X at Sonderling47. Keith, thank you for being with us here today. It's great to have you on with us on the show.
Thank you for having me, and I also enjoy listening to that CNBC clip on repeat, because that was pure enthusiasm for the president's economic policies and labor policies, and you can't get much of a better endorsement than that.
You know, I've watched and I've sat here and covered the first Trump term and then, of course, the Biden years and now back to this. And when I see jobs numbers and I see hype in the news, you got to dig a little bit deeper because who's doing the hyping on what? And I'm looking at this press release right now from the White House. Trump economy roars ahead with big private sector job gains. That is a huge distinction from the last administration.
And that's a great point. And what we're so proud of in the second Trump administration, that President Trump has grown the private sector by over 700,000 jobs. These are not government jobs. These are private sector jobs that are high paying and high skilled. And that's exactly what he promised the American workforce he would do. And he's delivering. And the other point on this, too, to what you just said about the Biden administration and Democrat administration using federal government hiring to bolster the job numbers and not private sector, federal government employment is at its lowest level since 1966.
Woo! And
that equals a savings of $48 billion in payroll to the taxpayer. So this was a very important part of the president's economic agenda to get those jobs into the private sector. And the most fascinating point about this is even with all those job cuts within the federal government, we are being more productive and more efficient than ever, delivering for American workers and businesses daily, more than ever before.
We're speaking with Acting Labor Secretary Keith Sonderling. You might have answered to this to an extent already, but I am curious about it because I think that this is the economics of how an administration can come in and make potentially generational impact on how the basic systems of our country function. The compounding benefit of invigorating the private sector and shrinking the public sector seems to me to be something, I've got 4 kids, that my kids are going to be able to benefit if we get back in this country to a place where we value work, we invest in American made, and the money, the jobs, and the services, they come right here out of the roots of our own country.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do at the Department of Labor and throughout the Trump administration. Bring back jobs, bring back industries that had left America, and all those American jobs were gone. So many high-skilled trade jobs, so many high-skilled industry jobs have left, but the president has committed to bringing those back. And what you see from the historic investments that he's been able to bring to the United States from foreign countries, from foreign companies, from domestic companies who are now excited about America, excited about the workforce here and making those investments, it's going to lead to even more jobs that are high paying and that are long term. Just this week, to the point you just made, Eli Lilly announced an additional $4.5 billion across Indiana for manufacturing sites. General Motors is investing $830 million across Michigan and Ohio, areas where jobs had left, and now the president is bringing them back. But the most important thing for us at the U.S. Department of Labor is, as the president creates these jobs, is to deliver the skilled and trained American workers. And that is our highest priority here. And we like to say, the Department of Labor, we're making America skilled again.
Nice.
Keith Sonderling on the phone with us, Acting Labor Secretary. Keith, this is Annie's co-host, Ryan. This is kind of a weird premise for a question, but how much of this is messaging? Because it seems like from the prior administration, or really from Democrat administrations, what we hear is really nothing very positive coming out of their mouth toward businesses, especially small businesses, and yet it's the exact opposite from Trump. He tries to inspire confidence, it seems.
That's such a great point you're making, and it's embracing the private sector and it's working with the private sector. In President Trump's administration, we've taken that approach that the private sector knows best on how to train their workers. The private sector knows best on the types of workers they need. And we have completely rewritten how this is going to work through a document called America's Talent Strategy, preparing workers for the golden age that President Trump is ushering in. And that is a document between us and the Department of Commerce, two very critical agencies to the president's agenda of bringing back these jobs. And what it says is that industry should be leading on workforce curriculum. Industry should be leading on education because they know the exact skills. No longer are we going to rely on the education system and the academic areas that has failed a generation of workforce, not just with straddling them with debt, but if for a lot of people entering the workforce who've gone to traditional colleges, there's such a skill mismatch that a lot of times you only have 35% of the skills you need for that job. Well, why not actually break those silos down and talk to industry, talk to employers who are doing that hiring, and then them tell us the skills, and then we can backtrack that into our community colleges, into our high schools to make sure that there is a high-skilled workforce ready to take these jobs.
We're speaking with Acting Labor Secretary Keith Sonderling. I've got a question for you just about the numbers, because I'm looking through all of the reaction from people on this most recent jobs report with 115,000 jobs in April. And I see these numbers, and I remember going back and almost feeling foolish from time to time. You'd see the Biden's administration release report. Gosh, this was great. The revisions, however, those were often very quiet. Every number that I see coming out of the political sphere that can be an administration, specifically with jobs numbers that came out of the Biden administration, it seemed like they weren't always real data. And I'm wondering if you have gone in and been able to kind of scrape out and get rid of all the muck, find out what was real. Are we working in real numbers right now? Do the revisions come out and really change the picture? Did the Biden administration potentially work to try to deceive the American public because they needed numbers to look a little differently than they did?
Well, the most important thing that we can do here when we do put out numbers is that transparency, trust, and confidence that the numbers we are giving are accurate. And the president has been very, very clear on this and was very vocal about what happened at the end of the Biden administration, where they had huge job numbers. And then after the elections, it was revised down significantly. And that does not allow workers, the public, the financial markets, the trust in that these numbers are accurate if any type of political games are being played with them. So under President Trump's leadership, we are restoring that faith and confidence in the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We have an incredible nominee that will lead this agency. He's going through the Senate confirmation process, and he's a true labor economist. And, he will absolutely restore any of that trust and just be more transparent.
Right.
And showing that if the numbers are good or the numbers are bad, here's exactly why. And there's no games being played, because that's what workers want. They want the real picture. And just one more point on this. We talked about this month's job numbers. And I want to actually go back to last month, because now we're 2 months in a row, back to back, where labor economists on the outside have doubted the President Trump. 94% of economists surveyed this month got it wrong, almost by double. They were predicting anywhere between 55 to 65,000, delivered 115,000. Last month, it beat job expectations again. The numbers were actually revised up from 178,000 to 185,000. So you see the difference here of just making sure that the numbers are accurate and being cautious with the data we use and building that trust back.
Last question before we let you go, Keith Sonderling speaking with us right now quickly. Just, do you feel as though you guys have hit your stride on what you want to do to transform Made in America, the job market here in America? Is there a lot more runway for the Trump administration in the 3-ish years that they have left to really put the pedal to the metal?
We are thinking about that every day, and something that I just would like to conclude with on how we all make this work. Last week, we celebrated National Registered Apprenticeship Week, and we are out there, based on the president's executive order, really revitalizing apprenticeships, getting people into apprenticeships right out of high school or people looking to change a career. And this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, having that industry-led curriculum. Apprenticeships allow the employer to design the curriculum for what they need, but it also allows those entering the workforce who want to become apprentices the ability to earn while they learn, not take on college debt, to get paid while they learn, and have that skill for the rest of their lives. So far in the second Trump administration, we've registered 400,000 new registered apprenticeships and increased the programs by over 3,300. So that's really sort of what is going to put this all together, is having that industry-led curriculum, but then having industry being the teachers themselves, not academics who have never worked in that industry.
Oh, it's how we built America. It's incredible. Thank you so much, Keith Sonderling, for the time today. We'd love to have you back. Congratulations on the good numbers. Keep going. Push forward.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. The acting labor secretary, the Trump administration, as they are looking to replace the former Keith Sonderling with us. We're going to take a break. Some potentially big news coming out of a conflict, and maybe not the one you're thinking of. We'll get some details on that. And Ethan Sports and Local next here on the Annie Frey Show. We'll be right back. Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com. The wet rain gets in your basement and you have a big problem and you need to have it fixed. The hallway in your home, or maybe the corner of your house, you've noticed there's a little cracking in the paint, and then you look a little closer and you realize, that's from the wall. And you've got a settling problem at your home. You need Home Shield Foundation repair. You're at your home and you're getting the pool ready, or you're getting the patio furniture out, and that uneven concrete is causing a trip hazard. Mom and dad come over and you're worried they're going to trip and, never want to have a fall. Maybe you're worried you're going to trip. You need Home Shield Foundation repair. These are some small fixes and some really big fixes. But when you go to Home Shield Foundation repair, you're going to get the correct fix for the problem, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Restore your foundation, repair it with Matt Hayes and Home Shield Foundation Repairs. You can go to 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
The Guns N' Hoses First Responders Soccer Cup is coming to Worldwide Technology Soccer Park on May 30th. We have one more pair of tickets to give away today in about an hour. So a little after 2:30, be here. We will tell you when to call exactly and what number caller to be. It is 1:34. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
From Collinsville to Chesterfield. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
For that reason.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. The YouTube live chat poll, which I haven't really talked about a whole lot today. Would the existence of extraterrestrial alien life forms alter your religious beliefs? Yes, it would strengthen your beliefs. Yes, it would weaken your beliefs. No, it stays the same. And one for you, atheists. You get a vote, too, if you so choose. Ethan, Sports and Local. Let's go.
Hold up. Check it out.
Sports and Local.
Hold up. Check it out. It's Ethan.
Hold up is what that person in the Facebook comments wanted clarification on.
She thought it was hoda.
I understand why.
My queen.
She's a beaut, Clark. Anyway.
That was good. Good poll. Hey, a fun night in San Diego for the Cardinals.
Were you there?
Oh. I wish.
Were you there covering it?
I wish. You know, there was a couple of select Anchorman clips going around on Twitter last night.
Yeah? Which ones?
Involving
Stay
San
classy?
Diego. Except it wasn't the Stay Classy clip.
You know, that's funny for us for a 4-game series over the weekend while we're there. Does San Diego just endure? Do they just have to deal with the San Diego memes? Just, you know, a new town comes in.
I'd imagine
Let's do it all again.
I bet it's probably pretty normal.
Yeah.
But I had never seen anyone use it in that fashion, and I was
give the people who don't know what you're talking about a little.
don't know.
See, there's always one.
See,
and it's always the same one.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Go blank yourself, San Diego.
Oh, that was played at the stadium?
No, not at the stadium.
No.
Yeah,
No.
People on Twitter were posting that
Ethan.
video.
Smaller words,
I
slower
know.
sentences.
Also,
I don't know how much fun I get the blank.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, what was the blank?
Okay, next story.
I like my job. So
More
I'm
Cardinals.
Going to leave it there. But the Cardinals last night, 2-1 win over the San Diego Padres in Game 1 of a 4-game series. Alec Burleson hit a solo home run to open up the scoring for St. Louis in the 3rd inning. And then in the 7th inning, Mason Wynn, an RBI triple. That would be all the runs that the Cardinals would need. Matthew Liberatore was excellent last night. In his 6 innings of work, just gave up 3 hits and 1 run. And the bullpen shut it down. Soriano, Romero, and Riley O'Brien got his league-leading 11th save of the year. So St. Louis with the win now, 22-15. And this is a really good San Diego Padres team. The Cardinals are now 12-5 on the road. And I believe now 8-2 against teams above 500. So the longer this keeps going on,
You know what's funny about all this?
the more people are going to start getting the fever.
The best fans in baseballs.
Baseballs.
TM.
Baseballs, too.
We know how to appreciate good baseball, and we have what we would probably call swagger, what everyone else would call gross arrogance about what we do. Just obnoxious.
Yes.
But we have had to sit. We've had to know our place, and we've shined a little bit of that frustration and anger onto the club to say, get it right. It's May. Are the best fans in baseball getting their strutting shoes out yet? Because there's definitely a way to do this too soon. and I
Oh, it's totally happening. It's totally happening.
Here's the other angle of it. If you don't get them out soon enough, you might not get to put them on this season. So get them on and wear them in, or play it cool, guys. We've been here before. We know how to do this. It's just May. A lot of baseball to play.
Fans, I don't think the fans care. I think they're just so. The fans did a good job of preparing themselves for what this year was going to be. This is a rebuild that the Cardinals are going through.
The best fans in baseball right now are sarcastically happy. That's the weird part about it. They're like, okay.
Well, that's what
slow clap for the baby birds.
That's what having no expectations and then happening to win does. Is people are like, hey, I wasn't expecting this. I'm just going to be along for the ride. Let's have a good time.
If the White Sox were having
House money.
If White Sox were having this season, well, I don't know if they're the best example, but like a really terrible team. I think the Rockies fans.
The Mets.
No, forget about them. I don't even want to talk about them. Last time I talked about them, I lost my whole birthday weekend. When you have a team that is perennially, let's say the Pirates. If the Pirates were having the season the Cardinals would be having, Pittsburgh would just be floating on air.
Yeah.
And so I look at Cardinals faithful right now, and some of them are, like I said, sarcastically optimistic because they're waiting for the other foot to drop. I don't see anybody really who's like, this is it. We're back.
If you ever want to be...
There's also a lot of jaded people still.
If you ever want to be entertained, go on Twitter. Go to whoever the Cardinals just beat, their account, and everyone posts a final score.
Yeah.
And usually if you lose, you don't post a graphic.
Just the
you
score.
just post the score. Go to the comment sections on those. Those have been very entertaining to watch.
Are they filled with Cardinals fans or with Cardinals haters?
Cardinals fans sending their own memes, and it is just,
we're trolling.
Oh, yeah. Troll game is
insufferable.
serious. Yes. Troll game is on. It's a blast.
Pennants in tow, but we still have them, so we could take them with us while we're there. Mm-hmm.
Annie, do you have any plans for Mother's Day this weekend? I feel like we haven't talked about Mother's Day, really.
No, we haven't. We've had such a full show that once again,
And that might come up a little bit later, for Ask Me Anything. But
we don't have plans for Mother's Day, but you have to understand that as a mother, I have a baseball game tonight. I have a track meet tomorrow, at least one more baseball game tomorrow. I have to run the concession stand tomorrow, and then Sunday happens after that, and that's Mother's Day. So we're not there yet.
Well, I found an article with some different things that, anyone out there, including the Frey family, could do to celebrate.
Oh, I'm open to this.
All of the wonderful moms out there. And the first one, this is all specific to the region, of course.
I told my kids they should each get me a package of macarons.
Ooh, that's a good one. Great. It will last you a little while. The first one...
I always have to share all of them with them.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the problem.
It's like you're maybe getting 50% of them.
Maybe. I have 4 kids. I'm 20% of this equation.
Yeah,
if you give one, you got to give 4.
That's spoken like a true mother.
Well, no, I don't share them.
All right, let me go through some of these because I think there might be some even that
things
Annie
that we
Frey
might
be interested. Yeah, the Route 66 Centennial Bigfoot Festival's coming on Saturday.
Bigfoot Festival?
Bigfoot Festival.
That's not technically Mother's Day.
That's at the heart of every mother's real dream.
Mother's Day weekend. Okay.
It's not Sunday, though.
I just said Mother's Day weekend.
We get the weekend, Ryan.
Yeah, one day.
You'll get the whole
This
weekend.
is going to be on
Hey, we'll talk to you in June. Just sit down for a second, Ethan.
This is going to be on Saturday at the Pink Elephant Antique Mall in Livingston.
Yeah. Go see it. Get some ice cream, a little treat. Cool. Bigfoot sighting.
Do some antiquing.
They are honoring 100 years of historic Route 66.
That is
100
fun.
yees in their building, the former Livingston High School,
when
and
you
the upcoming
drive,
250th birthday of America.
When you drive to Chicago, I'm talking to the people who are in Missouri. You see the pink elephant on your way to Chicago. You know that Illinois is happening around you, but you don't really understand it because you don't get off the highway.
No, you don't.
I also played volleyball in that Livingston gym.
No kidding.
Pretty sure.
Who would have thought that all you had to do was schedule a festival to have a Bigfoot sighting?
I thought of that sooner.
Just got to create the right circumstances.
The irony is...
Draw them in.
When you can do it with UAPs, you can do it with Bigfoot. Just ask Congressman Burleson. Did you ever listen to that interview?
Yep.
You are a liar.
You're totally a liar.
You are a liar. Ethan?
City Museum is offering buy one, get one, in parentheses, mom free. I'm not sure if this means you get a free mom when you buy a ticket.
Ooh, here's the thing.
Or if they are giving you a ticket for your mom to accompany you.
Mom free. I love what the City Museum is doing. Dad, get the kids, go mom free to the City Museum. Mom, stare at a wall for an hour. You'll be fine. You'll be refreshed. like the City Museum is incredible. My kids love it. Not my idea of but it is an idea.
Mom's ride free on the St. Louis wheel at Union Station. From
anything from the
10
trolley?
to 10.
No, he doesn't respect his job or his responsibilities here. We've gone over this. He's been shamed. You get one more story. I have
Could
to
I
break.
show up at the St. Louis wheel and go, I'm a mom?
I'm pretty sure
Maybe
you
not for
actually.
free.
I think
That
you
was
actually
one
can
of the
right now.
creepier things you have ever done.
Last story. Go.
Yeah,
Before
last
we get
story.
in trouble.
Last story. The St. Louis Battlehawks will be honoring the
Caw-caw.
greatest show on turf Rams
Or like
era
Mama.
tonight. They are hosting the Columbus Aviators. Members of the greatest show on turf
Did you hear
will
how
be.
Brad affirmed that? He goes,
Oh, he
Yeah,
knows.
the Aviators.
He
He already
knows.
knew.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
a Battlehawks fan.
Certified Battlehawk fan.
Confirmed.
Fans, players and coaches, including Dick Vermeil, Adam Timmerman, Mike Jones, who made the game-saving
Dick
tackle.
Vermeil?
Tackle will be there. Of course, Ricky Prohl was part of that team. He's the head coach
Yeah.
of the Battlehawks.
He must be the draw. That's pretty cool.
First 10,000 in attendance are getting a Ricky Prohl bobblehead. So this is a cool event.
When's the event?
This is tonight.
What time?
This is at 7 o'clock. Kickoff
Tickets available?
at the Dome at America Center. Yes, I believe last I saw there was 18,000 tickets sold.
Go get them
last night. So yeah,
All
fun
right.
event if you're wanting to, honor the greatest show on turf.
Ethan Sports and Local. Did we say the sponsor?
My mic was off
I
too.
was saying, turn your
Sponsored by
microphone.
All Financial.
All right. YouTube poll. Let's discuss when we come back. The existence of extraterrestrial alien life forms, is it going to change your religious beliefs when we come back?
.1 FM Talk is proud to support the Guns N' Hoses First Responders Soccer Cup, May 30th at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. Law enforcement battles firefighters and EMTs on the field, all for a great cause. 971talk.com/events.
Stan Musial, he missed a season in his prime to serve his country in the Navy.
Honor a legend on Saturday, May 16th when the Cardinals face the Kansas City Royals. Fans can secure a Stan Musial military bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola and Deerbirds. This patriotic collectible celebrates Stan's Hall of Fame career and his service to our country. A true symbol of character on and off the field. A tribute worth displaying and remembering. Don't miss it. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Some Sundays are made for the water. Sunday, May 17th, as the Cardinals take on the Kansas City Royals, make it a ballpark day too. That day, you can score a Cardinals boat tote presented by Coca-Cola and Walmart. A classic summer bag that fits right in from the dock to the dugout. It's ready for long weekends, sunny afternoons, and whatever plans you have next. Get tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
Just a reminder to have your air conditioner checked for the summer so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600. Or on the website, bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy to be with you on Alien Revelation Day. Brian, what have we learned?
We have learned that Peter Doocy is really interested in aliens.
He sat down with President Trump for an interview and asked the question about it. There's this clip of him sitting down with Trump, and they're talking about Obama, who was sitting down at a podcast. And he was like, oh, these kind of aliens, aliens don't really exist, but there's things we don't understand. And he starts talking about stuff. And Trump's response is, well, Obama wasn't supposed to be talking about that. And Peter Doocy goes, so they're real. And he goes, well, that's classified information. I can't say whether it's real or not, but the president wasn't supposed to be talking about that. And at the end of that, he says, maybe I'll declassify him to keep President Obama out of trouble. Do you remember when he said that?
Yeah.
And it was like, okay. And then they just kind of compiled into this thing that it is today, which is the release of some documents. Listen, I don't know what these things are. My suspicion is that a lot of what we've seen is earthly foreign tech that we have studied and that we stole from them or they stole from us. So I'm pretty sure that whatever it is, it's all out there. I don't know. Maybe it could be souls moving across the world, because what they are is they're orbs, and they move in this gliding, flowing. There's no wings. You can't see a propulsion engine or whatever. They're just moving through space. And so, like, maybe they're aliens. Maybe they're beings. Maybe it's the military-industrial complex here in our country. Maybe it's Russia. Maybe it's China. Maybe it's Elon Musk. I don't know. What could it possibly be? It could be pretty much everything. However, I can't imagine that there's anything of consequence that they just dumped on our laps on a Friday afternoon.
That's actually when I would think they would dump something of consequence so that it would avoid the news.
No, they've been hyping it for 6 weeks.
I guess that's true. If they wanted to hide it, they wouldn't have been telling us they were going to release it.
I would say that they are wanting... I don't think there's anything wrong with them releasing the stuff. The question would be, why would you not release it? What are you hiding? That's the question that we're all asking and have been asking. And I'm going to be honest. I don't really need the answer to that question. Keep hiding it. I'm good.
The weirdest thing that it could be to me is that it's actually just space aliens. Like, all these other things that we've talked about seem more plausible. Like, even the religious aspect of it. Is this something in the spiritual realm? I don't know. I don't think it's Nephilim, but...
I've had several different people remind me to read Enoch before today. And I'm like,
that's a fun book. You should read it.
Let me do these YouTube shorts and wrap up a baseball game. I'll have some dinner at 9:30. I'll get the show ready for tomorrow, 2 a.m. Let's open up some Enoch.
You should
know what
definitely read at least the first book of Enoch. It is just fascinating to me that the possibility of this is that, yes, these are space aliens. None of us know where they're coming from or what their point is. That would blow my mind if that were the reality.
Look at how basic. Look at how simple and accessible we have seen people who have power in a bureaucracy, in a government bureaucracy. Look at how far they've been willing to take the manipulation of what is true so that there's an end that they can reach. And I'm talking a lot about Russia hoax stuff. We're talking politics. We're talking fighting over the levers of power in the presidency. That's not nothing. In fact, I actually think it's treason. But we know that stuff happens. That, to me, seems like almost peanuts compared to the understanding of some sort of power source. When Eric Burleson was on us, you wouldn't know because you didn't listen to the interview.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. When Eric Burleson was with us, he was talking about anti-gravity type of science and, propulsion that exists in a different capacity than we may know it. I've seen people suggest that the understanding of energy that exists in this more clandestine realm could potentially unseat everything we know about energy and power sources as they exist, which means there's an entire power, like not, energy power source, but money power source.
You know who hates aliens? Big oil.
Go on.
I'm supporting what you're saying.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
I'm so used to it. I just panicked and didn't know. I just quit. I was like, what?
I saw that in your eyes. Like, I think she just hit the end of
I
the day.
defeated her this whole time.
I finally
could
won.
have just said something nice and agreed to her.
I have the power.
Yeah, that's what this is about. You're an alien, aren't you? I know there's a million things, and aliens would be the least dramatic about it because we'd all kind of know. Okay, I think we all know do we know whose side we're on?
No, we still don't. But
Would that make things clear to us to be able to navigate? Okay, this is really an us and them thing.
oh, humans and aliens.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yes, but if it's foreign policy pitted to foreign power pitted against foreign power, then we kind of all know what corners to run to, even though President Trump is remaking that map a little bit with each passing moment. Or is it the haves and the have-nots? And those who have know that those who had not now might have, and they might be the have-nots. And so now there's some sort of major money-infested power struggle that's going on. And meanwhile, the people in the administration are like, let's just let them think they're aliens for a while. That'll last them a good 3-4 days.
Let's give a Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah. I don't know. Wouldn't that be funny if they introduced us to their mother leader on Mother's Day? I just don't know what outcome, if I'm navigating the different potential outcomes that are all over the map, I don't know which one involves me doing something new. Even if it were little green men, what do I do now? Does my life cease to exist as I know it? I don't think so. I mean, I didn't think sloths were real anymore. I thought they went kaput, and I found out they didn't. I'm so happy for them.
That's what's hard about this is that we all thought it was going to be, the day of reckoning. They either come to fight us or they show up and they say, we have the cure for cancer or whatever. And it's just like, well, no, this is just a bunch of more info. And none of us know what to do with it.
Well, and President Trump's delivery of this information was I think it literally included the phrase, quote, have fun.
Yeah.
How serious should we be taking this when he's throwing UFO documents off the balcony of the White House saying, enjoy, people.
Here you go, doggies.
Knock yourself out. I don't see that and think this is really serious. Have fun? Okay, I think I will. I'll take your word on that one. Because what am I going to do if it's not fun? I don't know. Just die? That's not fun. I'm going to go to the St. Louis Funnybone is what I'm going to do. Let Kevin Farley
just
walk
die?
me through.
That's not fun.
Oh, man. Ask us anything in the next hour. A Mother's Day edition maybe of sorts. We'll be right back.
Trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. We've got a really good deal for you right now. I've been talking for years about a bagel loan. It's a mortgage. You can use a bagel loan to buy a new home. You can refinance. You can cash out refinance. I've refied twice. Once just got a lower rate. The second time I got another lower rate and did a cash out to do a deck replacement on my home. But right now, if you're looking for a home purchase, Stewie has cooked up something incredible for you that it's going to be hard to beat anywhere else. So you need to have the number 314-324-4440 down. I'll give it to you again here at the end of explaining what this incredible offer is right now. But for a limited time, you can enjoy a 1% discount on an interest rate for the whole first year. 1%. For the first year of your new loan, lock in and a 1% lower interest rate on a new 30-year loan. So if you're looking to purchase a new home, Stewie has the bagel loan and this opportunity waiting for you at the other end of 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Homeowners, a lot of you are worried about one thing when it comes to selling. That's leaving money on the table. Hey, it's Mark Cox, and I'm with Gloria Liu, your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria, how do you help sellers make sure they're getting top dollar?
The reality is, most homes don't sell for what they should. I see it happen all the time. They either price it wrong or they don't create enough demand. But with over 2,400 buyers in my buyers in waiting database and my exclusive pricing strategy, I'm able to offer my seller a 100% market value guarantee. And if I can get you 100% of your home's market value, I'll pay you the difference. So you don't have to wonder if you left money on the table. You can sell with confidence, knowing you maximize your sale.
Make sure you get every dollar for your home. Call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu today at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. As the U.S. anticipates a response from Iran on a proposed peace plan, the White House makes a surprise announcement. President Trump says Russia and Ukraine have agreed to his request for a 3-day ceasefire starting tomorrow.
And the dates are very interesting as we pull up the True Social here. May 9th, May 10th, and May 11th. And that's interesting because that is around Victory Day for Russia. Of course, Vladimir Putin is going to want to have a big military parade. It also goes on to say that it will include a suspension of all kinetic activity, also a prisoner swap of 1,000 prisoners. We haven't seen a number like that for a while, 1,000 prisoners from each country.
Fox's Aisha Hasni reporting. And as that war takes a possible break, the U.S. expects Iran to respond to a peace plan, even as fighting flared again today.
This time targeting several empty, very large crude containers, ships that were trying to break the blockade and head to Iranian ports. Yesterday, 3 U.S. guided missile destroyers were transiting the Strait of Hormuz when they came under attack from Iranian missiles and drones. CENTCOM says none of the U.S. warships were hit, but they had to take evasive measures and shoot down the incoming threat.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin. The Virginia Supreme Court today shot down a voter-approved Democratic redistricting plan.
Ruling is a huge blow to Democrats who had hoped to redraw the maps before November's, giving them more power in the Commonwealth. Republicans saw the outcome of the vote as a huge setback, but today's ruling changes everything.
Fox's Mark Meredith. And earlier, California also got voters to approve a redistricting map. And yesterday, Republicans in Tennessee enacted a new House map that carves up a majority black district in Memphis. Democratic State Rep Heidi Campbell says it will be litigated. America's listening to Fox News.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-983-2077 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-983-2077. That's 800-983-2077. What do you have to lose? Call 800-983-2077. Again, 800-983-2077.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Our temperature's feeling a little bit better this afternoon. Partly sunny skies, though we'll keep an eye out for a couple of showers developing. A better chance of some showers tonight, 53. The Mother's Day weekend forecast, it's not too bad. Saturday, partly sunny, warm it up to 80. Sunday, some scattered morning showers, otherwise partly sunny and cooler Sunday, 72. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. And be ready for the first heat wave. AirComfortService.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
You need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom.
It's anchor man, not anchor lady, and that's a scientific fact.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart. Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I'm so glad you told me that. I would have thought the whole segment about this.
No.
These guys, I come in the studio here. It's 2 o'clock on a Friday. I'm just going to be honest. This is when we take our job the least seriously.
You do. I'm fully engaged.
That's right.
I'm fully engaged.
I'm
locked
in. That's where you are the whole time.
Right.
Exactly,
Locked
Ryan. And they tell me that they need to fill me in on something, but it's during the intro, and then they tell me, I'm like, talk now.
No, we can't.
The intro is gonna be over. Tell me and then they're like, no, you need to shut up. You need to listen to the intro.
Yep.
And then I hear David Keckner's voice in the intro saying the thing that I've been listening to since 2016.
Yeah, he said it on our show. We had to put it in the open.
10 years. Is my laughter in it?
Just a little bit, yeah. It's barely. There's nothing I could do.
Were you disappointed in me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It doesn't solve past hurts.
Like I said, we don't take any of this seriously. The YouTube poll for today: would the existence of extraterrestrial alien life forms alter your religious beliefs? Yes, it would strengthen them. Yes, it would weaken them. No, your beliefs would stay the same. Or you're an atheist, so you just don't believe in anything. Right? Let's see. Probably at the early part of this week. So, Ryan, we had Congressman Eric Burleson on our show.
When?
I'll kill you. We had him on, and he talked about the UAPs and the missing and dead scientists and everything. And that interview kind of hit. It took off, kind of got a life of its own. Now I have this following on X of a few very prominent UAP people, which I did not know existed. Also, like the aliens. So, like, they were as aware. I was as aware of the UAP people as I were of the UAPs.
Ooh.
But now I've got a little more information on one of these groups of people. And just this past week, as they were marching closer to Friday, thinking that there was disclosure. That's the word. That's what the movie will be called. We'll see if it's a flop. Disclosure, where all the information, or at least if you listen to Peter Ducey in the clip that we played at the beginning, this is the first batch. Like, okay. You never put the best stuff in the first batch. You give them something that makes you want the 4th, 5th, and 6th sequel, right? So earlier this week, there was a report that just really took off and got out of control that theologians were assembled by government officials to go out into their flock, to their churches, to wherever they are ministering, and prepare the masses for what they're about to hear. Because the suggestion was that when the government put this information out there, there were literally people reporting that the life forms that were going to be revealed were going to be made known to be our creator.
What?
Yes.
What?
So again, I reiterate, the asterisk at the beginning and end of this segment, and maybe the whole show, is that I am in a UAP algorithm on X that I didn't put myself into, but I'm here. Well, it turned out that the government official who was involved in this meeting was Congressman Eric Burleson. But if I do that long enough, will you just pass out from waiting?
We can try it. Do another one, and I'll try it.
It's going to be a boring second half of the 2 o'clock hour. But Eric Burleson, I see him pop up in some comments, and he's like, guys, this is not at all what this was.
Of course.
He just went to say, I think he made some comment, which I think he's made on our show before, like, you got to. He's a person of faith. He's going to talk about his faith. He made no correlations whatsoever with the Bible as we know it might not be just as spot on as we thought. There wasn't any of that. But there was such a drumming of this portion of X, is where I saw, I assume that they exist in other places, suggesting that disclosure on Friday was going to shake us to our core. And it didn't. It hasn't. Maybe there's something out there that I haven't read quite yet. But it is an interesting question to ask yourself and to be a bit introspective about. If you were to find out that if life outside of Earth exists, does that change how you understand your faith? I will say that I believe that the God of the Bible is the Lord of the universe. So there will be no limitations on God as I interpret it and have studied it in the Bible. I think he's Lord of all. Do people consume this information and find out that there's life galaxies away and maybe they have their whole own religious god structure and like Thor over there? We don't get to pick and choose. How does the existence of an entirely different realm of life affect what you know to be true in the Bible? It's an interesting question. And, I'm here to say, as I've said, when Kevin Farley was in here, like, what do you do differently? When you find out whatever it is that it is, it's Americans and Russians and Chinese fighting back and forth over tech, or it's the American military-industrial complex fighting with the government, or whatever it might be. Those are all problems that we can fit into our capacity to understand existence right now. You understand it, and you're like, oh, that's above me. I'm not going to change any of that. I move on with my day. Different alien life forms. Maybe it's a little different. But I don't even know how I would change my faith.
Well, I like the presumption that you've put forth, because I didn't even think about it that way, but I would have come to the same conclusion that if I believe in God being a creator, I would believe that he is the creator of the entire universe. So it's not as if aliens coming in, you'd go, oh, they have a different God.
But there are people who will.
There are people that might say that. I would have never thought about that, because my answer to this poll would be very tricky, and is very tricky, because I would say, would the existence of extraterrestrial alien life forms alter your religious beliefs? Yes, it would, but I don't know how until I'd know more about the aliens themselves.
Can you give me an example of something that would strengthen it?
If they come to Earth, and here's the key, do we know if they have fallen, as in they are in sin also, or are they not? Because if they have never had a fall and they were perfect in their creation, they would be pointing us back to God in some way, because they would be in perfect harmony.
Dwellers of the heavenly realm?
That's where I would ask the question, like, what do they believe? Like, are they...
Or absent from our complete and total understanding of a religious structure where they have an existence elsewhere. I mean, the beginning of the Bible says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, which I think is the most important thing here, which is what I take home. Because the next one says, now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. God said the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. And God said, let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water. So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. God called the vault sky. And there was evening, and there was morning the second day. And God said, let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. When you go on to verse 14 of Genesis, it says, and God said, let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years. And let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth. So God does not limit creation in the Bible, in Scripture, to our dinky little planet.
Right.
And it talks about this. I find this to be interesting as a Christian, because the epicenter of God's creation here sure seems to be Earth, Unless God did the same thing for Schmurth over on the other side of the universe, and he did that stuff for them too. And so he's kind of got his, maybe we think we're so special and we're the only thing there, but God gives us the sun and everything revolves around our universe, around the sun, and the sun is what gives us life and gives us light. All of this biblically is right here, and the epicenter and the culmination, like the pinnacle of the point of the story of creation is man, is humans. It's us. Everything is set up for the creation of man. It's not like, we'll put man over here and and now we need some vegetation over there. No, he got everything in place for man, and in the process of getting everything in place for man, he created the stars. So if you believe scripture, now you're listening to this and you're like, okay, Annie's preaching, and I'm not allowed to preach. When I'm just talking with emphasis. When you think about this as somebody who is within an agreement with scripture, with a faith, because blind faith, educated faith, whatever it might be, I believe it to be true. I know that I am resting on faith, and scientifically, because one reason I'm not smart enough, and secondly, I don't think that's the way God intended it. God wanted you to want it. And that's why he gives us that will to want it. That God would line everything up to the culmination of the story of creation. The culmination of the story of creation is humankind. And he talks about placing the stars in the sky, all so that it comes back to the benefit of his people, who he made perfect. So for me, what does it matter if there's anything else out there? I don't know how anything else out there would change what Genesis 1 says. If you don't believe Genesis 1, then maybe you too would say, I don't know how any of it would change. If you think it's a big bang, I don't know what all the other creation, evolution. I mean, evolution isn't of itself a creation story because you had to evolve from something. So if you don't buy into the Bible thing, I don't really know how you navigate this because I don't know where it starts.
It seems like it probably could easily become a religion for you.
Well, but that's the point, because at the beginning, when you accept a big bang, guess what? You have faith that happened. We're going to both end up in the same place trying to prove something that we believe. And so for me, it's scripture, and for you, it's not. And that is what it is. But what would I have to see? Like, what could be put into my minuscule understanding that would go, well, that changes everything. Like that. Wait, between verse 13 and 14 in Genesis 1, God didn't talk about that. This is all, we're done with it. That what would be there? If God is talking about creating lightness and separating it from the darkness and talking about putting stars in the sky, and the reason the stars are in the sky is because of you. God put the stars in the sky because of you. I'm good with that. I don't feel the need to really know more than that. Just kind of take it as I go.
I just feel like there are so many variables that aliens could be. Oh, and among them being possible demons or whatever, that I just don't know how to answer this question, because I think that it could affect my beliefs. But ultimately, if Jesus is the gate and the truth, then I'm not really worried about it either. So
let's talk more about this, especially these could be some fun text messages. And it's going to be hard for you to send a text to us and keep it brief enough for us to be able to navigate our incredible texting system here. So keep it brief. Put your name on it if you want your name to be read with the text at 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. We'll do Ask Us Anything at 2:30, but when we come back here, we're asking you, would the existence of extraterrestrial alien life forms alter your religious beliefs? Back in a minute. Air Comfort Service. Online at aircomfortservice.com. The number to call them directly is 314-513-0091. Here's the deal, folks. Air Comfort Service, they give these opportunities for you to get that new HVAC equipment in your home in a much more affordable way. And now is the time here in May to check in to see if this is a time for you. For a limited time, you can save up to $2,600. $2,600 with Carrier Cool Cash rebates from Air Comfort Service. You can also qualify for 0% financing up to 72 months. So if you're looking to get an incredible system in your home that's finally, through these hot summer months that are ahead of us, going to keep you in your cool comfort zone. Get that Carrier Cool Cash rebate from Air Comfort Service and get the process started right now. You can trust people from Air Comfort Service. I have many times invested a lot of money in having them redo basically the whole HVAC system in our house. They're good people. They're great at what they do, and they're going to do great work. 314-513-0091, 314-513-0091, online at aircomfortservice.com.
The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Warm weather means more storms, and you never know when the high winds or the hail might damage your roof. Mark Cox here from my friends at Corel Roofing Company. If you haven't had your roof inspected in the last 5 years, you need to call Curtis Corel and get that inspection to check for leaks and for damage. We've already had small hailstorms this spring, and we're not quite a year out from the big hailstorm last May. Your window may be closing to file an insurance claim connected to that. Now, here's what Curtis tells me. They are getting roofs approved for insurance claims from that 2024 storm with no problem. They're so good at what they do. The insurance companies respect and respond to them. Consider this part of your spring maintenance for your home and call Curtis today and get him out there. He did my new roof, and it looks fantastic. You're going to love working with him. They specialize in all the luxury roof shingle lines. Call 314-222-9529 or go online today to CorelRoofingCo.com.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Stand on the box, stomp your feet, start clapping.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Disclosure Day. How many people, what percentage of the American people have no idea that the White House disclosed UFO, UAP documents today?
85%.
I don't know if I'm taking the under on that.
It's not high. If I weren't paying attention very closely, I don't know that I would have noticed it.
I was really leaning on the various news cycles in my X feed to tell me, is this something I need to lean into?
Well, your algorithm says yes. So,
yeah, but it's most. Did I just hear something? Was that weird?
I made noise.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it sounded like a beep. The YouTube live chat poll question, would the existence of extraterrestrial alien life forms alter your religious beliefs? It would strengthen them, weaken them, they'd stay the same, or you're an atheist. Brad, real quick, your answer?
Mine is they would stay the same. The reason I said that is, like, okay, so being a youth pastor, I get asked these sorts of questions. Like, well, what does the Bible mention aliens? No. Well, what does that have to do with anything? And Annie, you went through a bunch of stuff right there where you were talking about creation.
When I was just talking.
Yep. When you were talking. You weren't teaching or preaching or in authority over anyone at all.
She is not of the cloth.
No.
What's the name of the show? Say it out loud.
It's the Annie Frey Show.
Anyway, they ask me these questions, and so it's forced me to wrestle with this before there was even a chance of there being an alien announcement or whatever. And it's my understanding that whenever you study the Bible, you see that the fall and forgiveness and sin, that all is centered around man, which means that, and the earth is under the curse. It doesn't say the whole universe is under the curse. The earth is under the curse. So I look at this and I say, well, aliens exist, but none of the stuff in the Bible that we struggle with has been revealed to us to apply to them. So that doesn't change anything for me. So I said my beliefs stay the same.
John comments on YouTube, so God created us in his image and said we were born with sin. What about the aliens? God did create us in his image and we fell into sin. God's image is not sin. That's why he sent his son to save us from it.
A couple of texts. This
No,
one.
real quick,
oh,
your
me?
answer.
Yeah, I'm.
We care
one of
about your
the-
thoughts,
okay.
Ryan. What's going on?
Well,
Come
I'm
on. Impart.
sorry. One of the two yeses. Yes, it would either strengthen my beliefs, or
Mhm.
yes, it would either weaken my beliefs. If I had to just pick one of these, I'd say it would strengthen it. Because if we knew about aliens and knew what they believed, I believe strongly enough in Jesus being the gate that anything would come through, that whatever this other thing would be would also be filtered through that same gate, whether it be at creation or some other redemption story. There's a lot of takes on that, I know. I'm just kind of being very broad here. But anyway, I said there were some texts, and they are very good. This one says, "Hi, this is Don. There is a verse in the Bible where God says, 'I do have other sheep in the fold,' which indicates a definite possibility of alien life," he says. That's one way of interpreting that.
Say that again?
I've never heard that before. Don says there's a verse in the Bible where God says, "I do have other sheep in the fold," which indicates a possibility of alien life.
I don't know that I would say, and we don't have the time to iron this out, but I don't know that I would say that the Bible doesn't mention anything about life that could exist elsewhere. I don't think it rules it out.
I am interested to see what verses those would be. That's the first time I've ever heard that applied that way. And I don't know if I agree with it or not. It's just the first time I've ever heard it. Next one says, "God may have created aliens before us, but wanted something better, so he created us in his image." That's from Corky. And yes, that's another interesting take. If you met an alien, were they created in the image of God or not? Would they have a redemption arc, or we even need one?
We don't have that information.
We don't know. Eric
Also,
says,
just because there's another living being doesn't mean it would be created. Dogs are not created in the image of God.
That's what he's saying.
Humans have souls. That's the creation is for us.
Yeah.
God loved us. This is, of course, if you're somebody who is a scripture believing person, but you believe that God created scripture, or God created creation for you, and he wants to reclaim you back due to your sin, which is why he gave his son for you.
Yeah. Eric says the Democrats have a new illegal alien to vote for them.
No. Eric.
And then this person with no name, I don't know who this is,
Could be
says
an alien.
It would be crazy if aliens showed up with Trump Bibles and watches.
That person's a Trump supporter.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Anybody who brings up Trump Bibles
and watches and isn't screaming mad about it.
Nobody brings up Trump Bibles in a positive way. And I'm going to say, if you had a Trump Bible, I don't think it's a blasphemous way to read scripture. If it's scripture, it's scripture, but not his best take. Ask us anything, 314-241-9797 on the text line, the Annie Frey YouTube chat, and go vote in the poll. We'll be right back. Stewart's American Mortgage and that bagel loan. Have you called him yet? Have you texted him yet? I like that you can text him. That's kind of a millennial generation and younger thing, and Stewie is ready for it. What's up with the bagel loan? Same deal as always, where you get a bagel loan and there are $0 in closing costs. You go to close a loan, you don't have to pay anything to close that loan. But there's a little something extra for home purchasers right now, and Stewie wants to make sure that you are at the forefront of it. A 1% discount on an interest rate for the first year. you're going to get for the first year of your new loan the ability to lock in a 1% lower interest rate on that new 30-year loan. Plus, you still get the bagel loan, which means you don't have to pay any closing costs on the top of this incredible deal that Stewie is providing you. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440 is the number to reach him directly. Call him, yes, text him, but make sure you tell him Annie said hi. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-887-4333. 314-887-4333. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-887-4333.
I'm Mark Solinger, producer and one of the hosts of the Moth Podcast. For nearly 2 decades, The Moth has brought live storytelling to stages around the world and to millions of listeners. These are real people telling true stories from their lives. Stories about a lost family recipe, about working to free a wrongfully convicted man, about realizing you need to leave your May-December romance. Stories that will move you, surprise you, make you laugh. Stories you can't forget. Join us. Follow and listen to The Moth wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters. Reputation matters. Results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25 plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloor.com.
If you're paying close attention because you want to win these tickets, now's the time to call 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. The second caller will get Guns N' Hoses First Responder Soccer Cup tickets. Worldwide Technology Soccer Park on May 30th. That's right, the second caller. So call right now, 314-241-9797. You'll get a pair of tickets. It is 2:32. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. Consistently right.
It's a ritual.
97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Next question. It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on the Annie Frey Show.
Well, this is super fun for us when y'all send us your texts, 314-241-9797 questions, because we'd prefer to answer your questions. We know enough about each other. So we like to know what you want to know. And Ryan's got a few right here, right now. If you want to add to the list, 314-241-9797. Next question, ask us anything.
First one is, would you rather find out if aliens are real or Bigfoot?
Bigfoot makes zero effect on my life. What if he exists? He's obviously not dangerous.
You say that, unless you live by woods.
I don't.
You guys keep using the word he like he's a person. It's an it.
Well, it's a cryptid.
Well, that changes everything.
This is just another animal that we haven't discovered, so I'd rather it be Bigfoot.
And let me put this spin on the question. Would you rather find out if aliens are real or Bigfoot? Doesn't have to mean that you're finding out that one of them is real. You're just finding out the truth about one of them.
What's the difference?
Well, if you had to choose between alien and Bigfoot being real,
I'm not
that's
interested
one
in
question.
aliens. I will say, for the record, I don't believe that alien life form exists or has been identified. Maybe I'll be proven wrong in my lifetime, but I don't think so. The whole Bigfoot thing to me is a foreign language. I don't understand the intrigue in it at all. At all. So, I don't know. I guess Bigfoot. He's pretty good at hiding. He's not bothering me.
If it was finding out one of them was for sure real, I'd pick Bigfoot. But if it's finding out the truth about one of the two, I'd pick aliens.
Is there more here or next question?
Unless Brad has some deep insight here.
No, I don't have any deep insight.
Yeah, he did. He gendered the Bigfoot.
It's true.
I disgendered
What
it.
have you seen in those videos, my man?
Apparently not enough.
Yeah. Not wearing clothes.
Right. Next one is, Annie, do you think you can beat Ryan at arm wrestling?
This is fun.
I don't know. I'm really sore right now from YMCA volleyball, so maybe not this week.
Way too long to answer that question.
I know. I did that for Ryan.
I can't even answer this question because they didn't ask me.
Yeah.
I don't. Probably not. But I think I would make it harder than you. I don't know. I'm pretty strong. I know that I'm very strong for a female and proud of that, but
and I'm weak for a male. Let's
Exactly.
call the whole thing off.
Fair fight. Ethan, could I beat Ryan in an arm wrestling contest? No fights
Let me
had.
take a quick gander. Let me roll the sleeve
he's
up.
feeling the arm.
They're already rolled up, my man.
Yeah, true. It's true. But they weren't showing the bicep.
I don't want to get people
I don't
embarrassed.
There's a lot of butterscotch Snickers in there.
In his bicep.
That's not true.
Candy
I hate that
cigarettes rolled
candy.
up in the sleeves.
you said the one candy I don't like.
I know, you said you had to eat 3 of them just to be sure.
I think I hate this.
Ethan?
I want to say yes.
Oh, man.
I don't.
I'll also say yes.
Oh,
I mean, what
no,
the heck,
come
right?
on.
There's not a chance.
I'm an Amazon woman. I am Bigfoot. There you go. And I am a lady. Thank
It
you.
is, ma'am.
Amazon woman. I'm more of a Barnes & Noble man, I guess. All right.
What?
Next question. And this, I'm going to read this verbatim.
Anyway.
There's a whole bunch of guys that were just insulted. They shot.
Like, whoa, they have
Well, the meme, the guy, me? Pointing at me?
They all have circular glasses.
Let me put my membership
Yeah.
only on jacket. And
I'm trying
go
to make
beat
my
'em up.
muscles not look flabby here. I don't know if I'm doing too well on it.
That's a flabby muscle.
Was that to go with the circular glasses and the...
No, that was on the front.
Go, come on,
Next
let's go.
question. Here we go.
Snappy.
There we go.
We've got people to impress.
I consider Annie and I'm reading it verbatim. I consider Annie and Ryan the Howard and Robin of political talk.
Who?
Howard
and Robin, come on.
I would have said more of a Batman and Robin, but go on.
Could you ever see yourselves doing a show without each other?
Yeah, we do it all the time when we go on vacation.
Yeah, we do them all the time.
Oh.
We're fine.
Ryan has one every weekend.
Yeah, right.
Howard Stern and Robin Quivers.
Who's Howard and who's Robin here? I mean, obviously the black woman.
I'm Ryan. I am Robin.
You're
I am
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yes, you're right. You are Ryan. Very good. Good job, Ryan. Ah, all that time at Barnes & Noble's been paying off.
All my daughter does is send me gifts of the Tucker Carlson SNL skit saying, "What are we doing? What's going on?" And she's right every time.
I like walking into any room and saying that.
What are we doing?
I am Ryan.
I don't
Not
know.
Robin.
Ryan, you go first.
Could you see yourselves doing a show without each other? Yeah, sure.
We're good.
Yeah, we're fine. I think she would say the same. I would prefer not to. It's a lot harder when she's gone. So, no.
Do you like doing the show with me?
If I didn't
What do
like
you-
doing the show,
what do
I
you-
would not be here.
That's not necessarily true. What do you like about doing the show with me, specifically? Like,
Tell me
what
what
do
you
I
like about
bring
me.
to the table to make your job enjoyable and fun?
Well, you just got such a panache.
I believe it's
what?
panache.
Oh, no, it's panache.
Maybe
And-
Barnes &
I
Noble
actually
hasn't
think
been
we've
paying
had
off.
this.
We have had this discussion before. That's how long we've been on the air together.
I don't even.
We've discussed
I
the
think
word panache.
Last time I had to Google panache.
It's like 3 months ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Oh no, I was thinking years.
It was probably more than 3 months. What do I like about doing the show with you? I get to ride the coattails of a female host. So many males.
Are you getting paid like 50 cents to the dollar here? Or?
No, you get to go out there and nail it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on a show with a female. That's pretty unique, huh? But I'm just a regular guy. So I get to just sort of coast on that a little bit. No, the real answer to that question would be that, and this is very comparative to when we first started, we had a good time, but we've developed a pretty good rhythm. And that is something you can't just do.
It's like dancing.
Yeah,
if you're dancing with someone and you're not on the same rhythm, you can't do it. It
Right.
can actually literally be painful.
And I've seen how many times now that you wouldn't have done this in the past, where you'll just put something on a tee
That's all I do.
and then
Ryan.
just leave. And you're like, I know he's going to do something. I don't know what it is. And I don't know what it is either.
I know. That's the
And so
fun
I'm like,
part for me.
Now that's trust.
It's like giving a baby a ball of tape and letting him figure it out.
There you go.
I would say that I've had people tell me like, Andy, you could carry a show by yourself, and I'm always like, no. Just because I could stand here and talk about things, gosh, you'd get so bored with me, and I am allergic in kind of a Midwestern kind of way to people who are really blessed with the microphone, but they believe they were born with it in front of their face, and that you are just very, very, it's like, I'm so happy for you to meet me. Like, this is a really big deal for you. I don't like that at all. I like having what we refer to in the industry as an ensemble and being able to play off each other, because this really is, for me, an opportunity to entertain people, but we are 100% entertaining ourselves. In fact, if you go to the Annie Frey Show Facebook page and you look through a lot of the feedback that is there, a ton of people are like, I love that it's fun and funny and light. You're still informed, but all of that is there. And there are some criticisms that will be like, sometimes you guys are laughing so much and so hard that I don't know what's going on. And it is difficult in a room of 4 people right here. You know how it is if you get tickled by something at some point and the laughs create more laughs. The reason why I tell you this, and if it ever does get away for you, I do apologize for that. But the reason why that happens is because we actually are so genuinely enjoying our time in here talking about Lord knows what and having a good time with it that we may indulge ourselves a little bit too much on the laughter. But if I were to do a show with somebody else, I've said this to people I've worked with in here and people who I don't work with anymore that I'm still in touch with. But when you leave this show, I cannot replace you. I have to find somebody else to do the technical parts of whatever your contribution is, and then we have to create something new together. There is nobody who's going to come in the studio and be you, Ryan.
Well, Kevin Farley did.
I mean,
it's true. I think we proved he's pretty replaceable.
I don't even really
quickly.
think that it's respectful for you to put yourself on his level.
And you won.
Now I kind of feel bad.
You should.
Thank you. I mean,
what?
What
are we doing?
What's going
What's
on?
going on?
Well, you know what?
Who's winning?
Let's see. We're gonna take a break and decide what the score is here in studio. And
I got one more AMA before we go to break.
Well, I want to do more AMA on the other
Okay.
side. Do you want to do this one before we go?
I
We
do.
got a minute.
I do. What if the Bigfoot is an alien and all Bigfoots are aliens and they're just trying to come back to Earth to get that Bigfoot?
Well, just go and get him.
See why I didn't want to lead with that in the next segment?
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't leave it on the cutting room floor, though. That would have been a huge missed opportunity.
You're right again.
314-241-9797. If you want to send us some Ask Us Anything questions, we'd love to answer them. Dig deep if you want. If it's not too terribly deep or personal, we'll ask them on the air. 314-241-9797. We've got Brad, we've got Ethan, we got Ryan in studio, and of course, here, Annie, wrapping up a Friday afternoon in just a minute. Don't go away. Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com. I've talked to you about how they can come fix your basement, how they can make the waterproofing just pristine, like new, maybe possibly since you've owned the home, even better than new. But there are a lot of other services at Home Shield Foundation Repair that Matt Hayes and his incredible top-notch team can offer you. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. Home Shield Foundation Repair has history, has the reviews that you can research, has the resume to come fix whatever that foundation repair concern is that you're looking into with expertise, with kindness, with an expedited service. You call 314-271-9900, or you can go onto the website at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com. Learn more about the team. Learn more about Matt Hayes, and the family-owned business at Home Shield Foundation Repair, and the various services they offer both residentially and commercially. Home Shield Foundation Repair is the best, and they're waiting for your phone call. 314-271-9900, homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com. Hey, it's Annie. Grab your clubs and head to Tamarack Golf Course on Friday, May 22nd for the St. Clair County Republicans annual golf tournament. Shotgun start, 18 holes, cards, contest, lunch, and great prizes. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Wrapping up a Friday afternoon before we hand it over to, is it the Mark Reardon Roundtable today?
It is
All
indeed.
Right here in the same studio at 3 o'clock. So keep it right here on 97.1 FM Talk. We got a little Ask Us Anything to recap the day before we get to the next questions. We've got several here from the audience. We love them. We would do all audience questions unless we got a burning one that we have to ask. So you can text us at 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Put your name in the text if you want us to read it. And also a reminder today, we had Kevin Farley here in studio, it was a great conversation. Very comfortable. Nice to get to know him a little bit more.
Yeah, it was really good.
I hope he has a great few shows here this weekend. Tonight at the Westport Funnybone, 7:30 and 9:30. The Streets of St. Charles Funnybone, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday at 6 and 8:30. Sunday at 6. Next question.
Okay, long one or short one? Which one do I lead with?
The Brad one.
Okay, the Brad one. That's the longer one. Here
That's
we go.
why we talked about this off the air, man.
Okay.
It's like the middle of the play. We snapped the ball, and he's like, are we doing the run or the throw?
We out of 56?
We're running an option.
All right, Brad. This is from a listener. As a pastor.
You know, Ryan really does run a clean, really
you still
great
hosting, Annie?
pick
You
six.
still over there running the show, huh?
No.
Your
Still your
roundtable
show?
coming in next. Let's stink up the studio for him. All right. Back to the question, which is serious. As a pastor, do you have any thoughts regarding the idea that aliens will be a convenient way for non-believers to explain away the rapture?
I think that's a great
Time
observation.
out. Before we say that, Ryan, do you believe in the rapture?
Yes.
Has it happened?
No.
Brad, do you believe in the rapture?
Rapture, yes.
Has it happened?
No.
Ethan, do you believe in the rapture?
Yes.
Has it happened?
No.
Annie, do you believe in the rapture? No. Carry on.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it would be a convenient excuse or an explain away. I mean, when you start getting into Revelation and talking about end times, one of the things is that there will be preachers that preach and nobody will believe what they have to say. The Bible says God will harden their hearts against the word. So I mean, this could
Wonder
be
when that will happen.
Yeah, this could be the word, but I mean, this could be a method that God uses. It doesn't say what that is, so I can't answer that authoritatively. So that's open for interpretation. I wouldn't go too far down the rabbit hole of that, though.
Okay.
I got something to add.
Okay.
Not in rapture sense because I do not subscribe to the rapture. But I do have a listener comment here that says aliens are absolutely discussed in the Bible. The Bible confirms it. They are angels. Angels are creatures. They are alive. They not only interact with us, they are called, quote, ministering spirits. And they number in thousands of thousands. There are biblical accounts of people encountering angels, the Apostle John being one of them. And the book of Hebrews says there are times when we might be, quote, entertaining angels unaware. Aliens, angels, God's creatures. Put it on the board.
Don't see that correlation. Like, I guess it could be, but I don't see where the scriptures say the angels and aliens
What's
are
an
the
alien?
same thing. An alien is an extraterrestrial. It's a being or an animal or a creature from a different world.
Angels.
No, angels are spiritual. They're from a different realm.
They're beings and creatures. They've been in person form. They've been in creature form.
No, they have not. They're not in person form. They're in angel form. They're messengers.
You don't believe that angels can be in person form?
Well, they can appear and deliver a message, but that, like, your aliens. Extraterrestrial aliens are described as space aliens from different planets.
Well, you're quantifying them with an
yes, that's what
you're conceding to a version of them.
The most widely accepted version up until like 15 minutes ago, when Ancient Aliens popped on History Channel and started saying, "Well, what if they're interdimensional?"
I'm just saying that the definition of what an alien is, to what you said. How did you define it at the beginning?
An extraterrestrial from a different planet.
You didn't say a different planet.
From another world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a different planet. It's the same thing.
It doesn't have to be a world. Like a world and a planet and the world are the same thing? Interchangeable?
Interchangeable, yeah.
I disagree. Next question?
Next question. I can't believe you just referenced this because a listener said the same thing. Have any of you on Annie Frey Show watched Ancient Aliens?
No, and it's ancient.
Ancient.
Ancient. There's no K. I'm more confident that there's no K than there are no aliens.
Ancient.
Are we done with this question?
Ancient aliens.
No.
Not really. I've seen it probably in passing.
I've seen
What
it.
even is it?
It's a History Channel show, right?
Yeah, it's a History Channel show that goes back in history and says, well, we've always understood it as this, but actually it was aliens. So they start with the premise that this is aliens, and then they just try to find ways to make history fit that narrative.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the thing we were just saying before and agree with the texter that I have right now and saying that here's the final part of it. Angels are real and they are innumerable.
Yes.
We are not alone in the universe. And if angels are beings, I mean, good grief. What we're seeing floating around right now on video that we're questioning if it's connected to alien life. I mean, the idea of a being, but certainly angels can inhabit people or things or whatever it could be. Like the presence of an angel isn't defined by a particular shape or size. And if they exist, and they exist within the universe, in the universal realm, then sure, you could call them aliens. It just depends on how you define an alien.
A buddy of mine and I text about this all the time, and we always come back to the same thing, and I always come back to the same question. Well, why do the aliens, or if they are demons or angels, why do they need spaceships? Because it seems like they could just travel between dimensions and not need a ship.
Well, if they can shapeshift, then they can actually be the spaceship.
They could be a spaceship? I don't know.
I mean, if we're playing that game.
We're playing a game?
I think
Who's
we are.
playing a game?
I like games.
This is another question from a listener. If you were in a nursing home, this is for Annie specifically. If you're in a nursing home, who on the show would you pick to be your nurse, and who would be your doctor?
This is like
Wolf.
Something Mary Kill. My nurse and my doctor, can it be the same person?
No.
Ethan's my doctor. Ryan, you're my nurse, because I'm going to antagonize the heck out of you.
I'm not bringing you things on time then.
I know, the doctor will get after you, which puts Ethan in a position of significant authority over you.
Hitting the button.
Ruling over you.
All the time.
You'd be powerless.
Ryan, can you hand me that?
You would be the nurse from Billy Madison. Next question. Brad, you got one?
Oh, I gotta pull my phone up here. Well, let's do this one. If the show had a survivor-style challenge-based debate or something like that, so surviving a snow day with power, who on the cast?
Run that back.
Yeah, I don't understand.
All right,
Was that important to answer the question?
Well, okay, these are the options that I have: a snow day without power, eating nothing but toasted ravioli for a week. If there was a survivor challenge like that for the show, who in the show do you think would secretly thrive, and who would quit first, and why?
What are the options of
for
survival
any challenge?
If you were doing like if we were as a show doing a survivor, but it was St. Louis based, who would be the first one, or who would thrive in that, and who would
St.
quit?
Louis Survivor every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does
to and from work.
does like walking around like after at nighttime like
the
include?
garage
Because
without
I don't know if anyone of us would survive necessarily.
Getting in the garage without being assaulted by somebody.
It's intense.
I could eat the toasted raviolis.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, but who would thrive in a St. Louis Survivor situation?
I don't know if anyone would. That's the whole.
Quit?
I think that's the.
I'm just gonna go with Ethan because he's the youngest.
We'd be like, we've lived enough life here. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just stick with it.
I think
go
that's
to bed
a fair
at like
answer.
7:30. So.
Next question. Do you have a question?
I can do one here.
Ethan, I like it.
If you guys started working 4 days a week, would you prefer to have your third off day be Monday or Friday?
Brad?
I think Friday.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know, because I have to pick one, and I mean,
Okay.
Fridays and Mondays are the same to me. So
I would pick Monday because it would actually give me more time to be down and rest if I needed it. Fridays, when you add a Friday to a weekend, it makes your weekend busier. When you add a Monday to a weekend, you get a rest
It's
day.
a very good point.
It's like a weekend's weekend.
Ryan?
I pick Monday as well because Fridays are too fun.
Ethan?
Yep. YouTube live chat poll time. Would the existence of extraterrestrial alien life forms alter your religious beliefs? 2% said that they are atheists. Another 2% said yes, it would weaken their beliefs. 14% said yes, it would strengthen their beliefs. And an overwhelming 82% say no, it would stay the same.
Huh, interesting. Anybody in here think they're aliens? Ethan?
No.
Brian?
I don't think so.
Brad?
No.
Me either. What a bummer.
I know. I kind of want them to be.
I bet Mark Reardon does. You'll have to stay tuned to find out next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
Once left for dead, or redevelopment, the shopping mall is making a comeback, and Gen Z is leading the way.
The mall rats are back, but these aren't the same, mall rats of the 80s and the 90s.